expected to really leave. So he sent her off with basically enough sperm and eggs to raise those people and that, right?
That's not Interstellar.
That was.
Are you talking about, is that a Sandra Bullock or Matt Damon movie? That might be something else.
That might be the Matt Damon one. I thought
there's too many damn space movies that are similar, man.
Wait, because I thought, no, Interstellar, I swear to God, it was like...
That's Matthew McConaughey. With Anne Hathaway, his daughter.
Because wasn't it?
Right?
Yeah,
that's not his daughter. I'm fucking...
No, hold on. Really quick. He did send her out, right? What's the guy from Batman?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. But knowing that all the shit that they've been working on was bullshit. That they were never going to figure it out. So he sent them there to basically find a planet that they could live on.
Yeah.
And repopulate it.
Oh, right, because the whole Earth was about to die.
Yeah. So they knew that they weren't going to be able to actually prove it, but then he did figure it out.
Yeah.
And then they were able to create that thing, that ship that went there.
Yeah.
But they had enough. Plan B was, if they can't, to
go through the black hole?
No, to basically repopulate. They have sperm and eggs and shit.
Damn, that movie's so deep. I need to watch it again.
I just remember the black hole part where he was Ben trying to tell her, and it's like, remember when that duck fell? That was dead.
Oh yeah, when it's like all the interdimensions start talking together.
When I'm driving, I always put that scene. I just type in Interstellar.
You shouldn't be watching that scene while you're driving.
No, I don't. I just put it for the audio. It makes me cry.
Why?
It's sad.
It's like, I'm trying to tell you as a spirit, you dumb bitch. I've been here the whole time.
No, not that part. The one where
I've been behind these books the whole time. No.
Where she's dying, and she's like, "Oh, you go. I have my family here now." She was like, "Go be with that one girl." You know what I'm talking about? With the daughter is the grandma.
I need to watch it again. It's just blowing my mind right now.
Has totally modern customer service. So if a leak becomes a flood, you can start a claim in the app. Or if you want to talk on the phone, our specialists are ready.
Recently, we covered an article about some Ukrainian douchebags beating up their neighbor, right? The old lady.
Oh, that was crazy!
And they buried her alive.
Yeah.
Well, I was here for you weren't here, yeah. So, quick recap, you can check out that video. Ukrainian bad guys said, "Hey neighbor, you're being mean to us," and they that, and then they took her and buried her
alive. And then she's so buff, she fucking broke out of that shit, climbed out, and then she took a nap when she got home. They also made her dig her own grave.
Yeah. They beat her for hours.
And it broke her ribs, like her jaw.
But I wanted to see the other guys because she looked like a football player.
Yeah.
She looked like she put up a fight. Yeah, for sure. She looks like she digs deep.
So then did they get arrested or anything? What happened?
Got arrested.
Okay.
Is this an update?
Spoilers.
This is not an update. This is a Chinese remake of that story. So now imagine
Chinese lady beat the shit out of some dude.
dubbed over. Yeah, dubbed over, exactly. They've been recasted all together. So instead of the two Ukrainian bad guys, it's a Chinese son.
It's an all-Asian cast. It's nice.
All-Asian cast.
The son beat up the mom.
He didn't do the beating up because the mom didn't need to be immobilized through violence. The mom is a paralyzed mom.
Oh, and he buried her alive?
Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh. I was gonna be like, how is she gonna dig her own grave if she's paralyzed? She couldn't. He didn't follow the script.
Was you just sick of her? Like,
And she army crawled out.
No, she got rescued.
Yay.
3 days later, so it's a happy story.
Wait, so she's still alive for 3 days?
For 3 days, she was calling for help. And I think, actually the wife was like, where's your mom at? And then eventually they were able to track it down and find the burial place, and they dug her back up, and there's a video. So the wife was like, okay, I don't think this is working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're willing to do this to your mom.
how bad are these criminals in there?
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
How the fuck did she stay alive?
Holy shit.
For 3 days? What did she eat?
What are they saying?
Big time.
Oh my gosh. You gotta lift her like that, and she was just buried without any structure around her?
I don't think. Holy moly. It's not a graveyard.
How do you breathe?
Sounds hella northern Chinese, almost like Mongolian.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is definitely like a very rural area. And she does move a little bit. She's like partly paralyzed, so like you can see that she's like.
Why are people burying people so like? What? And it's killing her.
The protocols in America compared to other countries, they just lift her up hella crazy, put a rag over her.
They just left her there.
What do you want to do with her?
I don't think. What do we do now?
Deep ass hole.
Yeah, one son dug that up and buried his
I
mom.
like how nobody was like, "Hey, lady, you all right?" They're just like, "Oh, goddamn, this is crazy. Let's just cover up in a blanket. What do you guys want to do, Bob?"
Hey, Bob.
Chinese Bob. Chinese Bow. Hey, Bow, what the hell, man?
So apparently the son, who's 58 years old,
58.
well, the mom is 79.
She should have. She was probably nagging too much.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Perhaps. Or maybe the son's being a dick and doesn't want to tend to his paralyzed mom and thought, you know what, maybe if I just
Killed her.
But you don't know how nagging some ladies can be.
True.
And then you gotta wipe her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, true. This is fucking crazy. Like, she stayed alive at how old is she? 79. No water, no food for 3 days fucking straight. She deserves to survive, dude.
No coffee.
Yeah, no.
I could never.
Because my grandma had Alzheimer's, right? And then she was constantly complaining. And since I was just there to visit, like here and there, I thought it was super funny and I thought it was really enjoyable and charming. But I look at like the look of my mom, who's been taking care of her for a couple of years, and then just like the 24-hour help that they hired. I'm like, damn, I can see why people just throw some in like a senior home, because it's just non-stop complaining over and over and over and over again.
Well, especially with Alzheimer's, they don't even know what they're. They have no awareness.
Not just the complaining, man. There's just other things too, like if they fucking poo-poo themselves, or if there's like they wake up in the middle of the night and turn on the stove and start cooking, or like there's a lot of yeah. Because when my grandma was getting that stuff, like we try to keep her in the house as much as possible, but shit goes crazy, man.
And my grandma would be sitting there, and she's like, oh shit, I need a shit. And then so she's not paralyzed, but I need a shit. We have these two like caretakers, they come immediately grab her. She's like, hurry, because she doesn't feel like she's gonna make shit on the toilet.
Oh my god.
So she's like, hurry, I'm gonna shit myself. And then halfway to the bathroom, I think she has an episode. She was like, get the fuck off me, who the fuck are you guys? And so she pushes them off. She doesn't need to shit anymore. She falls on the ground because she pushed them off.
Like a drunk
Because
person.
she can't remember that she
needed a shit. So she falls on the ground. She starts crying because like her hips are all weak, whatever. She starts crying, and then she does shit herself because the body is still biological.
Yeah.
The body still remembers. I gotta shit. Did you forget?
And so she shit herself, and then she comes back and she goes, "How can you guys just abandon an old lady on the ground like this and let me shit myself?"
But she forgot.
Yeah, the workers are just like, "Oh my god!" And then now they gotta carry her back in, and I'm just looking. I'm just looking at like the whole thing. To me, it's funny as fuck. 'Cause I'm watching from the outside. When I watch my mom and like just the amount of, it's just like, oh, so I can like when my mom is at my grandma's house. At the end of the day, when like it's like 7 or 8, she goes back to her house in Taiwan, and she finally goes, oh. I'm like, oh shit, that's.
And it's their own mom. I think it's easier when you're the grandkid.
Yeah.
When it's your own mom.
I don't know. It was pretty hard for me when my grandma got Alzheimer's because she's a young grandma, so she's always been like way younger and cooler. She used to borrow my clothes and stuff.
Grandma on your clothes.
Yeah. She was 44 when I was born, and so she was like young and hip, and like she'd always try to barter with me. She'd be like, "What if I trade you my jeans for those jeans?" I'm like, "These jeans are expensive, grandma." And she's like, "Ah, you little shit. I'll steal those." And she's like, it's just fun. And then she just lost her mind. Like she got Alzheimer's really early.
So yeah, it's like you had two moms.
Yeah, and then she would like be eating dog shit, and then you're like, and they were like,
Where did she get dogs?
well, like she had dogs, and then like she would randomly like go have an episode. She'd be like, you see this? And she'd start eating it. And be like, don't eat that. She's like, get off of me. I don't know you. I'm like, let me eat.
Steal my goodies.
Yeah.
That's my caca.
And she
She actually did it? Did you get it?
Yes.
Did you stop her before she does
Yeah.
it? She actually.
Well, no, like my grandpa would try try to stop her because she trusted my grandpa, and she always think that I was trying to hit on my grandpa and try to steal it from her. And she also was in love with my brother and like all of her grandkids' sons. She was like kind of a flirt when she was younger, so in her mind she's high school age. And
that's why she wanted your clothes.
She's like, you see these boys? They're mine. I got dibs on them.
That's cute.
Like all her
Creepy at the same time.
And then she thought my dad was trying to steal everything from her house because he was brown.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, Alzheimer's is crazy, man.
I don't know. She saw me as definitely a threat, though, that I was trying to steal her man. And, like, because I came with my brother, too, and she's like, that's mine. She's like, I got dibs already.
How old was she when this was happening?
It started when she was, I think, like, before her 60th birthday.
Wow.
She was young, man. And it happened, like, where we didn't realize that she had Alzheimer's. Like, because at first she was just forgetting things. She was just telling the same story over and over.
Yeah.
Like, so...
It's old people shit.
Yeah, and, like, my mom does that. Like, I do that sometimes. Steve fucking does that.
I think we all do.
Yeah, we're like, whatever, that's not Alzheimer's.
I'm taking you all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So then that wasn't a big deal. But then she started, like, forgetting people's names. And that wasn't a big deal either, because that happened to me.
I do it now.
Yeah. And then she started forgetting words, like actual words for things, like where she would call like a shoe, like, hey, I gotta get my clowns. And then we're like, what are you talking about? She's like, my clowns. And then she like, clowns. And then we're like, that's a shoe. And she'd get embarrassed because then she'd remember that that's not what it was called. And then it happened, she was just yelling at her mirror, her own reflection, saying that there was an old lady in the bathroom that was like stealing all her stuff. And then it became, we're like, whoa, she has Alzheimer's.
I could emotionally take it if my mom had awful.
And that's what the old people homes are for, right?
If it's for grandparents, it's hilarious, but when it's your own mom, it's tough.
My grandma was like, I have a boyfriend. And I'm like, who is it? I thought it was one of the old geezers she was with. And she's like, that guy. And I'm like, the worker? Because we had a special moment. And I'm like, what happened? She goes, he bathed me. And I'm all like, what the fuck? That's what they're supposed to do. I guess for her it was sensual, you know? It was like romantic.
Especially if you can't remember why you're in there.
Oh, true. I picture her saying all this while she has that breather thing in her nose. He bathed me. It was sexy.
Can you imagine being that worker? You're like just trying to do your job and clean her, and she's like getting all turned on.
Dude, old people are horny.
Hell yeah.
Do they have hands? Do old people have hands, you think? Or do
they have hands?
Like, do they get hands, I mean? Like, do they...
I heard they grow.
Like,
Their hands just have their hands.
They fall off at a certain age.
I hate that age where your hands go away.
I thought you meant as in like a box with I forgot hands.
Oh, yeah, your hands, dude.
I don't know. I think they're boxing. They're young. I don't think they box later. I don't know.
By that age, if you guys are still alive, please shoot me.
You have Alzheimer's?
Oh man, what's the point of? I mean, unless you guys can profit off of me and you're like this.
Make videos?
Yeah.
You need to sign an
Exploit me. I don't give a fuck.
Like,
If I'm useless, by the time I'm useless, like if I can't give joy to the world anymore and I'm just a bag of fucking potatoes, shoot me like a motherfucker.
You don't want to eat noodle.
If it's for entertainment.
Yeah.
I want to wrestle.
Money to your estate, and then we keep the rest of the money.
We're the same age, right? So me and Mark, if we both have Alzheimer's, we can both fight over doo-doo like it's gold, huh?
It'll be like your old JK skits, so we'll revive JK films. But you guys will think that you're normal, but then you're actually your characters.
Oh, shit. There's this facility right here in Downey where they're trying to do this, like era thing, to help people with their long-term memory for Alzheimer's and all that. And so they'll have things of their youth, like themed, like restaurants and all that. Yeah, and it's been helping people with Alzheimer's, like remember things and their memories improving and they're working their minds. And it's like when they're in an area where they feel like familiar with like the decor, the era, and the people, then it makes them use their mind to like I guess like activate support that helps them remember short-term stuff. They're not in an element where they're like, what the fuck is this? And like half of their life is anxiety now. But then if they're in a comfortable place and they're like, yeah.
With that said, we're living in that time for us then. This is what we are experiencing right now is that era for us.
So that way to think back to?
Yeah, what's going to make us comfortable is to think back to...
You know what's crazy is like 80s music is oldies.
80s is oldies now, yeah.
Yeah, 80s music is oldies.
That's considered oldies? for 80s?
Wow. 2000s? Yeah, 2000s is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That feels weird because I can remember 20 years ago.
In the 90s, 50s music is oldies, right? So that's 40 years prior. So 40 years ago was 80s.
It's not based on the technology of music that classifies it.
I don't know. I think of the generations that have passed since.
Oh, 40 years ago is 80s.
'Cause I picture it's the music. Like if it sounds like a old school record, then I'm like, oh, that's old. Like if you hear the
Right, the crackling.
I don't think like. I don't think that's 80s.
Ask a generation
Yeah.
Z kid, and they'll probably think that's fucking old as hell.
Right.
But it's digital sounds.
Because it, like, to us, maybe that was like the equivalent of us hearing like 76 maybe that's like the different era.
Yeah.
That's beyond only. Think about Back to the Future. He only traveled 30 years back, and he was like, oh shit, this is different.
Yeah, that would be the 90s.
Oh, right.
Back to the Future, travel back to the past today.
Yeah.
30 years. That would be 1990.
Yeah. It's crazy that my high school, like if you type in my high school, they have like some kid just back then brought a video camera to school and was filming like I think like the 1980s or 1990s, and it looks so fucking weird. Everyone was wearing those puffy jackets. Everyone had wallets.
Baby ideas, yeah. Scrunchies, big old scrunchies.
Yeah, it literally looked like they out of Greece or something. That's just how everyone dressed.
Have you guys seen on YouTube just like walkthroughs of cities and just some people upload footage of like old fucking black and white interviews of Great Depression people?
I never gone that far back. I got sucked into one where they're interviewing some kid in Boston in the 80s, and fuck, it's a fucking trip. Everyone, the cars, and then it's like just like voyeuristic. And it's just some guy walking through the streets and you really feel, you know, like part of that life.
That's why vlogs are cool, because people could actually look back and like
There's so
see.
much of our evidence now.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Holy shit.
Is this like a child trafficking? Yeah, exactly.
For sex?
I don't know about that, but creepy ass people buying babies on the black market. That happens.
Some people just buy them because it's cheaper than an adoption.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That you brought up sex. Wait, so trafficking means it has to be for sex?
I usually like sex trafficking. Child trafficking is usually tied to child sex trafficking. That's why when I mix the two, it sounds like.
Or in some drug trafficking sometimes. Like where the kids have to, yeah.
But this is baby. Now, I have not really heard about baby trafficking before.
Yeah, I mean, like, so there'll be babies. So there'll be babies that either, like, really, really, really poor families, like, they just can't even, like, take care of this baby. They'll sell it off to people like this. And then so now these babies, like, then they get money.
Conceptually understood.
Yeah, so there's a person who buys the baby and ends up selling it to a family that, hopefully, a family that's trying to get a baby, hopefully not some other stuff.
So they're like the middleman baby upsellers. They're like a contract for babies.
Right.
It's also so prevalent that they put 2 ankle alarm pins on the baby. So it's like an alarm. I've heard of people like snatching babies. So they put 1 thing on the ankle. So if the minute the baby leaves the birth,
That's the mom's person, I think. Oh, I mean, like, this car, or like the ward or
yeah, the
something.
ward. So she was saying, like, if the minute the baby leaves the ward, alarm goes off like someone's trying to snatch a baby. But she was putting on 2, and I'm like, oh, how come there's 2? She goes, because that's how often it happens. Someone likes to try to snatch it. Because they can't be, like, in America? Yeah, America. Baby snatchers, like, everywhere.
Oh, I'm gonna have my eyeballs on that baby.
Oh, yeah.
They call it a code pink car.
Yeah, that's cute. You're the cold pink. The cold pink. That's not cute.
Silver is when there's an elderly person missing.
Cool unicorn.
I'm sorry, this is not.
Wait, cold silver is when someone has a gun. Yeah, there's like a whole
That's so confusing. What was that color? Cold donut. Cold
Is it a gun or a person? They have it all over the hospital. Legend of the roads, yeah.
That sucks, man. Like, who the fuck out there baby shopping and shit? Like, you know, like,
Because, so apparently they were trying to sell a 20-day-old baby.
That's so fucking sad.
And a 2-month-old child. So these 2 kids, they were rescued from this, like, online selling ring. And apparently there is a 3rd baby, but we still haven't found or rescued the baby. But yeah, these guys were trying to sell 3 babies, and they were advertising it on social social media, they're saying that one was being advertised for 400 million reals, which is like $9,490. And then the other one was...
You can buy a life for 9 G's? Crazy.
Yeah, the other one's for 11,800.
Some German Shepherd.
And you know what's crazy? They bought the baby. So like,
Someone bought it?
yeah, so they bought one of the babies for 1,100. That's how desperate they are.
Oh, like before then selling it to the middleman.
Yeah, yeah, they sold it for 1,100. And the other one was 2,300.
That's insane. You know when we had the Great Depression here, people were giving out and selling their kids too. There were like pictures of people like on their stairwell or whatever, like in New York, and then they'll say kids for sale. It's looking crazy, dude.
But the people that buy those is like, that's where it's scary. It's like,
Where they going?
yeah, it's like, hopefully with your attention.
I'm hoping it's like a family, like we did one on in China, where this couple adopted a kid and they bought the baby from like a baby dealer, but the kid grew up normally, and then he found his like birth mother, and they're trying to reconnect, but
They just couldn't have kids because they wanted one
I
really.
don't know the reason, because they didn't focus on that story, but he was bought from a baby snatcher.
Because like, let's say they had good intentions, right? Like they're like, want to raise this kid normal. Well, you can't do that if this person is not going to have a social security number. They can only like have one if they're registered, but then it's like they need the U.S. So like,
This is in rural China.
where that's what I'm. That's I see.
Because it might be like maybe they don't have adoption firms in
Not
like
just that, but
Iran or
like
whatever.
underground people can easily pull up a fucking social security card and a birth certificate. Like they'll
That's the
fucking
least of
figure it
their
out.
worries.
Because when I was in Thailand too, and they were teaching us about, like, I was traveling with my church and doing mission trips, and what they were saying is that, like, in these poor villages in northern Thailand, they're not Thai people with citizenship. They're like Hmong people, or like they're just not. They don't have papers, and then sometimes they don't have money for the village, or families are extremely poor. So then a recruiter will come and be like, "Oh yeah, they could work in the city. Like my friend has a factory. We'll take care of them." And they're just like village people. They don't know, and they're like, "Yeah, that'll be really good, right?" And then they'll send their daughter off, and then she goes and she gets into sex slavery, right? And then so the girl is so ashamed of what she got herself into that she can't go back to her family, and then it's pretty fucked up, right? So once we learned of this whole process, it was like, oh shit. So there's so many people that are getting taken advantage too because of how broke they are and how hungry they are. Pretty sad. There's this one group though, I thought it was so fucking dope. I forgot the name of it, but it's like current and former people in professional law enforcement agencies, from local police, military, CIA, and all these guys, right? And they go out and they find missing children and child trafficking organizations, and then they take them the fuck out. It's so dope.
There's a group called Guardian Group that's like that. You know who Tim Kennedy is?
No.
So Tim Kennedy is a former UFC fighter, also a former Green Beret. So he's like special ops. So he's just like he's probably like the closest thing we have to a superhuman G.I. Joe motherfucker. And I think he has a company called Guardian Group that tracks people down and stops sex trafficking.
I want to do
Yeah,
that so
dude, like
bad.
Ashton Kutcher has a thing too.
Really?
This hella reminds me of the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Did you guys see that Netflix documentary?
I only watched the first episode so far.
Oh man, it's well, I guess point is everybody remembers that moment, you know what I mean? When he randomly
Did he die?
dies
Did he kill himself?
or whatever, yeah, in this maximum security wash prison or whatever. But you know, the whole thing just being about like his connections to how like this underground child sex trafficking, international high profile players, you know what I mean, going to his private islands, you know, involving people like Bill Clinton, involving people like Trump, you know, and it's just then the trail just goes off, right? It just disappears because he's dead, and that's it. End of story.
What was that photo thing that you sent? I still haven't seen that. Oh yeah, I mean it's just basically like has to do with all that stuff. How they're like the globalist elites have like a pedophile thing, and it's like tied into Satanism and cannibalism too. Like they believe performing certain rituals gives them power, and it's like almost too far-fetched for you to like believe. But then some shit comes out like the Epstein stuff, and you're like, this shit is real. Like, there is real shit. And then there's stories from Hollywood people who have been invited to these parties, and then they, like, got out, and they're like, yeah, there's some crazy shit going on. So there's too many words to, like, dismiss, but then it's so far-fetched that you can't, like, picture your favorite celebrities participating in this, like, Satanist culture, but then that's the whole thing, is, like, it's very secret, and anyone who's come out with information has gotten killed or randomly committed suicide, randomly got in a car accident, randomly had, like, something on their hard drive that they swear wasn't on there, and got locked away to prison. So it's interesting. It's a very, like, crazy rabbit hole you could find yourself in at 3 in the morning.
Yep.
If you go down the internet.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Many times.
You know, there's the U.S. They have a list of the worst offenders on human trafficking, and like tier 3 is where Iran is. So there's
different countries?
Yeah, different countries.
Is tier 1 the highest?
I thought we were talking about like people.
Yeah, I know. Epstein is number 3.
Yeah.
Who's number 1 then? Fuck.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't clarify according to what countries. Yeah, so there's 21 countries in tier 3. Like, that's like the worst. And that is the worst. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Tier 1. So tier 1 is like first level, and then 3 is the top.
I guess it's kind of like first world, second world, third world, probably, is how they probably do it. Third.
Okay.
So tier 1's almost like this country has minimal child kidnapping problems.
And then third is...
Yeah, exactly. So then they're saying that countries listed in this tier do not fully meet the minimum standards for the elimination of trafficking and are not making any efforts to do so. So Iran is one of them, Saudi Arabia, Cuba, yeah, all these other different, North Korea, Venezuela, China, Russia, Syria, South Sudan.
China makes sense, because that news was out, remember? The baby got stolen and then sold into that farming family.
Yeah.
And then they just raised them.
Yeah.
It's like, we need a kid. I can get you a kid. You got $600? Sure. He goes, hey, we got somebody to pick the fucking cauliflower now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's fucking nuts, man.
You know, I'm just so glad for this particular story we're talking about with the 3 babies. I'm glad 2 at least got rescued.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find that 3rd baby soon.
Man, that pedal game rabbit hole can get you into a really dark place, though. But I think the cool thing about it is there are groups like the Guardians or whatever that are out there trying to catch a lot of these guys. And I think as more people find out that this shit is real, because even the British Parliament, I think, recently got caught for legitimate child sex shit.
What?
And there's like people that came out and said like, yeah, I went to that house and then pointing out, and it all got brushed under the rug. And
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
the dude New York was involved in the Epstein thing as well. Prince. Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a documentary that's sometimes Google or YouTube shadow bans it apparently, but it's called Out of the Shadows. That people were like passing around, and like I feel like that's a good entry if you're like into like if you're like you've never heard anything and you're like I want to know what that's about. That's like a good.
Yeah, that's on some like dark web type stuff though. It's like everybody knows about the dark web, but like nobody knows it. You know what I'm saying? The second you go inside, it's like you don't know jack, and that's even the topic of conversation I feel like we have with like these high profile people, because no matter whether you have these like guerrilla troops of people that are trying to like go out and do justice, fight the system and whatnot, but these people that are in these rings are like such high power. You know what I mean? They have like so much resource, so much access, so much protection, so much money, so much blah 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 blah. It's like, hey, that's what makes it a really dark place.
They're the top 1% of all the wealth in the world.
Yeah.
I've been on Noon since June, and I've lost 40 pounds. It made me realize that I never really learned how many of you guys started cooking more often when the
it's more. It's not the same again.
I barely eat out though.
I just found recipes that are really fast. I just found like a couple recipes super fast. So then
Yeah, I think it was like before it was like let's try new recipes, but when the pandemic happened, it was like okay, let's just simplify the recipes and just like cook whatever's available and things like that. And yeah, we aren't ordering out as often as we used to. Now obviously we're not going out to eat. Are you guys going out to eat?
we do.
Yeah, you guys do. You sitting in the outdoors and stuff.
That's nice.
It's too hot. Is it
I haven't done that at all.
It's hot, but I think it's like better than being at home all the time. So
It's a good like
It's a little change up.
little change of scenery.
Yeah.
We've only done it twice though. We did once at a diner that served breakfast, and then we did it in K-Town.
and then it's not good. We did it in Santa Barbara. They had opened up. They basically State Street is like the main street in Santa Barbara, and they shut down the whole street to cars, so the cars couldn't go through. And then all the restaurants put their tables and chairs in the street, and like so it was right outside of there. And then
Cool.
yeah, so it's like kind of like a festival, but
Yeah.
we were allowed to go inside the restaurant. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a study right now that, and I guess these studies are happening everywhere, but the fact that people are cooking more often at home has led to less food waste, and which then is helping out with climate change right now. So that's a pretty cool little byproduct of the pandemic. And some numbers for you guys. Before the pandemic, American food waste amounted to about 30 to 40%. 40%, that's like fucking half the plate. If you go to a restaurant, that's half the plate is not eaten and it's being tossed out. And the estimate here is that based on USDA's Economic Research Service of 31% food loss at the retail and consumer levels, that corresponds to about 133 billion pounds of food being wasted, which is $161 billion worth of food.
Whoa. They should just make the portions smaller. The portions are fucking
No,
massive.
I want the deal and I want it to be big.
True.
And you always have a stomach ache, always.
Do you throw out your food, Steve? So as someone that is pro big plate,
Yes.
yeah, you
He eats everything on the plate, and then if I can't finish, he eats my leftovers.
That's what's up.
And then later, when I'm like, hey, he's like, oh, it's cake.
Oh, I ate a lot, Cam. Oh, God, not so much. I gotta not.
I ate so much.
You caught it off yourself. Yeah.
I know.
Dude, that's the bullshit about nice romantic dates. Because then, like, when me and Tiff are, like, going on a romantic date and stuff, it's like, all right, cool, we know where this is going to lead at the end of the night.
That's what you think.
And that's what I think, exactly. And then when we go out to, like, these romantic dinners, I'm like, oh, fuck, we're, like, paying extra for, like, to be here right now. Let's get something good, and let's make sure we're full, too. And then by the time I get home, I'm fucking either too drunk or too full, and the
I
romantic
always have
idea that...
leftovers. I have leftovers. If we go to a fancy place and I get a nice dish and I'm like, hell yeah, I stop when I'm full, but then I'm like, I'm getting good lunch tomorrow. And I take that home.
And I'm like, excuse me, you said it's endless spaghetti?
Romantic.
You cheap ass.
I'm at the Olive Garden. I'm here for the endless.
The
Bottomless spaghetti place.
With the fucking breadsticks.
Hey, now,
Well, you can eat soup and salad.
I like to sit down and I say, when do you close?
Can an insurance company pay claims really, really fast? Just upload a video telling us what happened, and your claim is paid in minutes. Really?
I tell the kitchen, Steve has arrived.
That's right.
Do you think the buffets in Vegas will get shut down for a while? Like, are going to go out of business? Because, like, how...
I love those
For the
guys.
foreseeable future, I
Right?
think so.
You think it's gonna be a thing of
They're back open.
the buffet? I don't think the buffets are.
Oh, because the outside looks like it's popping off. Everyone's not socially
Oh yeah, the streets. If you see pictures of the streets, it looks popping like nothing ever happened yet.
Yeah, one
A
of my
lot of
friends...
casinos aren't open too, though.
They're not.
Yeah. Well, not a lot, but there's a lot of hotels that just they're not running.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
Well, how do you go there? Do you not go there?
No, I would go there. I would go to where the poppin' part.
Oh, what?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Yeah. I'll go
Do you know there's a stat of 189% case of people that went to Vegas ended up getting corrupted?
189%?
Yeah, I like those. That's a crazy.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure on, man.
Hey, that doesn't get lucky.
with cooking? Like, are you guys saving your food more and like eating leftovers?
Yeah, I don't have any food waste anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's like in our household. It's still like a struggle to get like. Again, I grew up eating leftovers, right? And I feel like it might be a cultural thing, like with like Asian like families, is that we always eat leftovers and stuff. But with like Isaac and Tiff, they don't
We ain't poor like you, Casey. We don't fucking eat the leftovers.
Hey, that's what it seems like. That's how I feel. I'm like, it's not beneath me. It shouldn't be beneath you to eat some leftovers if we save some money or whatever. You know.
I just hated it that when I was a kid because we always had leftovers and we had to eat leftovers the next night, and I like not having to do that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve won't eat leftovers, but I love leftovers. To me, it's like free food.
That's how I see it as. And it still tastes good if you
It's already cooked. It's already ready to go.
I see it as a rebel. I'm a rebel, and I don't have to do what my mom says anymore.
But then you're always scrounging for food.
Yeah, I know. I'm very hungry.
And I'm like, there's leftovers, and you're like, I know.
Time from yesterday sitting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, delicious pad thai leftovers.
He has
versus
his dignity,
eating-
Casey. He has his dignity. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I was raised in a household with 4 other kids.
So what?
So it was a fucking war.
So?
You have to fight over the leftovers?
Yes.
Okay. Finally, you have to find a
I don't want to eat leftovers now.
My dad grew up in a house with more kids than you. He had 5 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, well, we had a bigger house.
You know what?
Okay, yeah, so he had to fight more with his brothers and sisters, and we all eat leftovers still. The only one that's bougie is my fucking brother. He won't eat leftovers.
Really?
Yeah. Me, my mom, and dad were all like, it's free food.
I don't like Mexican food leftovers though.
That's good.
That's probably
Well, there's a lot of fresh ingredients that are required.
you gotta eat it fresh. It just tastes nasty if you eat it again.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work.
Like Chipotle. Like, I mean, I know that's not like the most Mexican of all Mexican foods, but like you can't heat up a burrito and be like, oh yeah, the tomatoes and the lettuce and the guac that's in there, that's still good after being microwaved. It's done.
Maybe a quesadilla?
I'm trash. I'll basically eat anything leftover. Like, if I ordered it
Yeah.
and it's my leftovers, I'll eat it.
There's something comforting about leftovers and then mixing leftovers. Like if you have like
Repurposing it?
Repurposing is pretty
like
good.
2 or 3 different restaurants,
Yeah.
then you kind of get
Yeah.
like a little, get
That's like a
some
little
action.
buffet, yeah. I like that shit.
You can hook up your plate and stuff. You know, does anyone ever take pictures of their leftover plate?
No, you weird.
I'm like, dude, I hooked myself up and I made it look pretty and stuff, and I'll take a picture of it, never post it, and I just have like a whole bunch of food photos on my
You should have a Instagram that's just repurposed leftovers.
leftover page. Oh yeah.
Because I do that, and I take pride in that too. Like if I can make fried rice out of it or something, and it tastes better.
Exactly.
Because you mix like 2, 3 different things, and you got it. And you're just like, yo, that works.
Look at you guys.
You're judging us?
Yeah.
You're judging us?
In our house, like, we just put any leftovers over rice. It's a new dish.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
I'll take all your leftovers, put it over fresh rice.
And the best of all is I'm just sitting here going, I just turned $20 into 5 fucking meals, man.
But listen to yourself though. You're saying you're like, it almost tastes fresh. I got it so close to
So it tastes like something else.
Yeah, it tastes like something else.
Yeah, you made, it's like you invented something new with it.
As a master of the deals, I'm like,
I know, right?
No, I still like the deals.
damn, Nikki Icebreaker is in the house. Yeah. Everyone calls me that. Everyone calls me that. That's what everyone.
Shop the Google store for great deals on holiday gifts. Like $40 off on Pixel 4a with 5G, the Google Family Portrait Maker. With free 2-day shipping until December 24th. Visit googlestore.com today.
It's not always easy to pick the good apple, the one that lasts twice as long, meaning you can conserve water, emissions, even fight food waste just by enjoying milk. Well, there it is.
Who calls you that? Everyone. Icebreaker.
So you're the Iceman and the Icebreaker, huh?
No, Iceman. Icebreaker didn't stick. Iceman is what's
Did it not? Because that's the word on the streets. I saw they were tagged up outside.
Yeah.
Nikki Icebreaker was here.
Just bringing the ice.
Sorry, Steve. I like Icebreaker. That's a good name.
I think we need to write that.
You should.
Ice got shattered, dude.
Damn, dude.
That's you melting.
It's okay. They used to call me Ace too, so I'll go with that one right now.
She's the only one that can conquer the Arctic. Damn.
No, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that, like, there's so many good things about repurposing repurposing food and leftovers and all that, where like you're saving money, you're just fucking, you're not wasting food, and then you can taste something different and it's fast. Yeah, I think that's the thing is if you could cook, like, it's faster to grab all the leftovers and just run it through the microwave or just on a fucking.
And it's better if you don't know how to cook, because it like it makes you exercise your creative muscle to fucking.
It could be a gateway to cooking.
Exactly, because that's why I like it, because then I'm just like, oh shit, someone already made it, so like I can already understand what flavors are happening here. Oh fuck, I can put this. Oh shit, it changed it. Or sometimes you just have this like craving for that one specific flavor, like buffalo sauce. So we're like, I don't want to make buffalo sauce, but I had buffalo sauce on that stuff last night, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's rich still. And I get really excited. Then I get
You start scooting the buffalo sauce. You're like, oh god, this dude.
Yeah.
I try to waste nothing, right? So I even got the rinds from a watermelon, and I got chicken, and I made a soup out of it. Was it good? That's the next little video.
What if he's like, no? Disgusting.
The rinds could be, I'm gonna try it. It's just like a melon. It's like a melon flavor. And then you just fucking boil it, and it becomes a fiber. Julie Zahn actually made me a watermelon rind soup one time. And then I was like, what the hell? This is crazy.
Wait, is that the thing?
I searched
You say it like you say what she did as if it was an actual thing, like she gave to do this, like it was like a pass down.
But she said that her grandma made it for her, so I was like, I didn't know you could eat that. So I was like,
My grandma also cooked her
After what?
her bunny.
But then there's also so many things you can eat that,
Bunny and watermelons.
He was like, this is
She doesn't
way too,
waste, okay?
what do you call it? This is too ethnic for me, guys. I think
Oh my god, that was a good deal, actually.
oh, really? That's great.
What's your other stances on not eating leftovers?
Excuse me?
What's your other stances? So far, it's just like, I grew up with a kid in a house with two.
So I think that's why I think that I don't like to do it. I'll do it.
It's just psychological.
I think I just look at it as like I don't have to do this anymore. Yeah.
I challenge you guys to eat everything in your fridge, in your pantry, and see how long it goes. For me, it took me 3 weeks until I folded to buy more things, but I could have gone further along.
Is it a race? Because if it's a race, I can make it disappear like a day or two.
This is saving money there. It's not a competition.
Cereal all damn
It's
day.
mainly to show you guys that we stockpile a lot of shit, and we never. So it's like this. It's like you have a car, right? You don't fucking drive your car to empty. You just keep driving it to half, and you keep filling it back up. So that's basically what we're doing. But you can really stretch it out for a long time. I could probably have gone for over a month.
Yeah. I think it's because I grew up not so financially well off, so there were a lot of things that I wanted, and now that I can afford it, I'm like, I'm getting that shit. Even if I don't eat it, I'm like satisfying my inner pantry's all Lunchables. And candy.
There's a ton of candy in there.
And name brand, everything's fucking name brand.
The cans of Lunchables are not fucking good.
They're nasty. I never liked them.
Awful. Why did I love it?
I always want to heat it up. Like, it's just, eating it cold is just...
Oh, there's something about it.
Frozen meat in your freezer that's been there for months?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The most is maybe 3 or 4 months.
That's what I'm saying, man. Use them.
I got a giant, like an unchopped ribeye in there.
Use that shit.
For me, it's the dry goods, like rice and pasta. I have so much rice and
That's
pasta.
apocalypse food.
I know.
That lasts forever.
But the thing is the sauces. You know, you need to get sauces
That
for
shit
those
lasts a
things.
day.
I needed to overcome emotional eating and stress eating. I started using them, and so far I've lost 30 pounds.
Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Record, where we talk about whatever we want. Do you guys like saying that? Whatever we want.
It's a staple.
Yeah. You know what happened? What I realized is when we first started this segment, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is weird. We don't have a title. There's no, like, the guest isn't saying anything. Yeah. And then also, it was like a description for the fans so they could know that this is a different type of video. So then that's when I just said that, and then it just stuck forever, and then it just turned into this thing, and I'm like, that's beautiful.
It's a part of it. You need it.
That's a little bit of tips sprinkled in every episode. Even when you're not here. To me, it's like Chili's, baby.
Barbecue sauce. You have to do it. You have to.
Living spaces.
Yes! Dude, that's like my favorite place.
Why did those tunes? Why was it exactly the
True.
Jingle sounds.
They're jingle sounds.
Get in the zone.
When we don't want to let it.
Be a lemon.
And so you
No, but kiss.
Those are local ones. But yeah, because then I also like hearing everyone else's version of like my intro. Because then with Casey, what do you say?
Welcome back to Off the Record, where we talk about whatever we want. I just imitate.
I mean, he basically tries to do like what you do, but worse.
Oh, yeah, but that's it.
I'm the carbon copy. Chicks. No, that's fine, because every time Casey does it, he's like, oh, the first couple of days where I was hosting, yeah, I could not get it down.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he did great.
It's your own interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, with a lot of stutters,
I know when we had like an all crew day and Brian was the one that was hosting, he always liked to say like, this is Off the Record where we talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. Yeah, I just needed to be a little bit different than the general whatever we want.
Yeah. Everyone just sprinkle their own flavor on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so cute and pretty to like see everyone else do it. Because the first time you did it, and I was in this room, and then because I started off with like, oh shit. Every time I think about it, I always blank on what I say until the moment I call action, and then it comes out of my mouth. But
it just comes natural.
Yeah.
This is honestly like I'm at a YouTube panel at VidCon. Because my first is always like, they're always like, yeah, well, I came up with whatever we want. Go ahead, everyone, claps, yeah.
Is that what I'm doing?
Do you have any questions for the originator of that phrase?
When I thought of it, I was in a bathtub and I was like, I just need something that connects with everybody and like just make everything into such a bigger deal than it actually is.
Yeah, hilarious.
I do remember when it was on the Casey days where he was hosting and he was trying to intro like Off the Record, and when we didn't say whatever we want, it just seemed really off. It was so off, and then I remember like Casey was like, no, this doesn't seem right. We gotta do it all over again.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's like a thing you do at the beginning just to get into the mindset of the episode.
I remember my second VidCon, I was there, and this guy gets on stage. I had never seen him in my entire life. And he gets on stage expecting everyone to know who the fuck he is. And he's like, hey everybody, oh wait, let me just do it again. He's like, hello world! And like 9 people clapped. And
everyone knows to turn it on?
Yeah, he's like, everyone knows that I'm supposed to say hello world first.
That's his catchphrase.
It's obnoxious way. And so that's what reminds me of that. No offense to you, obviously.
I'm actually very offended, Steve.
Okay, I'm very...
You actually compared me to VidCon panel.
It reminds me of it, but you're saying, is this okay to even do? It's a completely different thing.
It's okay to do?
You're like, is it okay if I keep saying that? You want to change that?
Oh.
That's how you started.
No one told me my bill was going to double after 1 year. I don't want to sign another contract. I literally just wanted the game.
Introducing T-Vision Live. Get live news and sports for just $40 a month.
Upstart looked at more than my credit score and approved me for a much lower rate. 8 months later, I paid off my 3-year loan. I'm a huge fan of Upstart.
True, I guess. No. I guess I wanted to know like how you guys feel saying it, and then I started thinking about the involvement of it, and then I was just like, oh, because I mean sometimes the reason why I ask is because in the past when we had a different show with a different intro, people were like, we don't like that intro, let's just not do that, and then so we stopped doing it.
I don't even remember what that was.
It's a different show.
With a different intro.
Oh,
come on, don't play keep away.
I'm playing keep away.
Everyone is now commenting.
Whisper to Steven, and you
whisper to me.
and then I'll pass it over there.
Oh, and then we're keeping away from that.
Keep the secret from that.
Yeah, they don't need to know.
They're already commenting it, like the comment section.
They already know. Yeah.
I think you guys already know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It goes like this.
What's that from?
That is a very accurate, yeah.
really brutal. Wow.
It was kind of brutal.
I'm glad that ended.
That's kind of what I started thinking of right now with the whatever we want. And I'm like, how do you guys feel about it? So that's all.
It's not offensive like that one is. Whatever you want.
Totally offensive has to be.
Well, it's like stabbing me 3 times.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's just like, take this. Yeah, fucking take it.
Wow, it's been so
Should have seen the animation with it then.
Oh yeah, the animation.
Master feels.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess initially when we started that intro, it was fun. Like it was like, oh, this is fun. Like we're getting into it. But then after like so many episodes, and it got so repetitive.
Plus, that was for every episode of that
Every
show.
single one.
This is like kind of an offshoot of another thing, so it's.
I actually like the fact that we always had an intro. Because I feel like going into the video, you have something that leads you into the video. So without the music, I would get it at the time when you're filming 20 of them back to back. You're like, okay, I'm tired of staying.
Yeah.
But I feel like from the viewer's perspective, you're like, okay, I know what I'm watching here.
Some of these things evolve, right? So I watch a bunch of crypto stuff, everyone knows that. But I watch this guy named Data Dash, and he's always like, hello everybody, listen here, and I'm like, god damn man, you don't have to do this. I know you did in your first video, made 1,000 videos, you think everyone expects it. We hate it.
That's exactly what my thought process was with it. Even initially asked
Are you fucking good?
I'm like, is it old now?
Would you want to change it? Would we change it?
Oh no, I just wanted it. I wanted to inquire. Actually, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
There you go.
Get rid of it. Get rid of this whole show.
So like, you dump the whole show, we're like, feedback, there you go.
No, you know what I do absolutely love from you guys though is like you guys will send me video clips of like your kids being like 3, 2, 1, action. I'm like, that's so cute.
That's really cute.
And then side note, I'm like, why are your kids watching this show?
Oh, so sad.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm just like, well, maybe they're just too young, they don't understand.
Especially when the videos start off with it's fucked up parenting thing.
Yeah. We used to take shit.
I feel like I'm going down memory lane.
You know, that was like your time, girl.
Yeah.
And then like we would have to think of like, you know, like if they couldn't submit it, because then the fans would submit it, then we have to think about like, what are we entitled to? I know.
But like some people had their like favorite titles that they look forward to, like entitled
Criminal News. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I remember you guys loved that. You guys' favorite every single time was like, oh fuck, the parenting news. Yeah, it's a parent.
Like, which one was your favorite?
You're criticizing favorites when you don't have a favorite?
I loved all of it. They're all great.
Wow, bringing up Ask the Fields, old JK News titles.
You really were like, this thing's been around for so long.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, I'm like, my mind's being blown.
What about for the new people? What's for them? What's for them?
Well, currently, we're getting meta in this episode.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
You should go back and watch all those videos. Just to catch up on everything.
Yeah, this is the episode in those TV shows where they like just do a whole bunch of flashbacks.
Oh.
Filler. Filler episode.
Can we have the one where we talk about like the son asking the mom to go and buy him a sandwich and then like him killing both of his parents eventually? And,
What? What are we talking about?
Joe puts his foot through the wall.
Like, you remember that like so clearly.
I edited that one.
That story was.
I mean, like, how can you not remember when your boss kicks the wall?
I never even saw the actual video for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
The following is an actual review for an insurance company.
I just bought home insurance, and pretty sure it was easier than ordering pizza. No anchovies.
Top-rated insurance that people eat right up. Lemonade.
Yeah.
I only heard about it many times, but I'd never seen it.
I just remember the act of it. I didn't remember what led up to it, but that is.
What made the dick shape on the wall?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that might have been Bart when we were playing
Yeah,
chicken.
this is Bart and that's Bart too. It's off camera, but there's like a dick-shaped hole in it. A gigantic hole.
A vat shape.
I remember that second. No.
Boys will be boys, you know.
I'm just over here chuckling, pretending like I heard you, but I really didn't.
He said bat-shaped hole.
Oh,
Aren't you so glad you heard it now?
so glad. And I still didn't fully understand. Maybe I had some wax in my ears because I heard vag or vat.
badge. It's a vast badge.
Best badge. The best kind, baby. The best kind.
That's a wide vagina, because it's a circle. That's pretty big.
Childbirthing.
Pretty much. It's crowning.
It's bigger than the dick on the wall.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember, like, did anyone in, like, health class, like, see, like, a live childbirth or whatever for, like, like on screen, and then no one warned you about it?
Oh, damn.
It was like, whoa, whoa!
I felt that way when I watched Knocked Up for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That one scene where the fucking baby just comes right out.
I don't remember.
How about seeing a little spermie swim and you're like, that's how many I kill when I jerk off?
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm a monster! Yeah, it is like that. It's like, this is genocide.
I'll do it again.
I'm still gonna do it, but I feel a little bit weirder afterwards. Shit. Because they look like little tadpoles, and I had frogs as a kid.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How many frogs?
Too many frogs. I had 2 frogs.
So did you drag off into a
Too many frogs.
So did you drag off into a water tank so you could take care of it?
Oh, shit.
That is disgusting.
You did it! You left him speechless. You win. It's like, what are you gonna make it from?
I think I make it from. Okay. We know where he's going to school.
Chelsea's gonna try to see how it comes out.
The worst thing is that when I had to let my frogs go because we were moving and they couldn't survive the trip, I remember letting them go in the woods, like Fairfax, Virginia.
Was it the right
Were they native?
ecosystem frog to be really?
Well, I thought so because it looked like nice, because it looked like the inside of the tank where you have like a little sticky little leaf on the shit.
There's like bigger ones out there.
Yeah, and then I remember going to my friend BJ's house afterward. His name was BJ, which is hilarious, but I didn't know why later, until much later. And then his dad was like, "You let your frog go in the woods, it's gonna die like immediately." And I was like, "Oh,
You like let it go. You like let it go, and then you just hear.
I mean, exactly, dude. Well, not to mention it drops like 40 degrees a night or whatever, so.
Oh, no, and they couldn't survive.
Activated, huh?
They needed it warm?
I don't know.
But, like, did you have a heat lamp on them?
I don't know.
It just became frogs.
I was a kid. Does a kid ever actually fully take care of something?
Oh, your mom came in. That's why my mom got rid of my turtles.
Exactly.
Yeah, turtles.
Did you release them in the wild?
Yeah.
You know what, the desert, just like,
No, she released them into like the park. The little park pond.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I think my mom should have taken care of my pet. I accidentally killed a lizard and a hamster.
How'd you kill a hamster?
I killed him.
Honestly, I can't remember if it was a hamster or if I killed lizards. But the point is, I remember killing one by accident. And I think I told the story, but I was cleaning the tank thing, and then I didn't know where to put the animal because I can't remember if it was a lizard or a hamster. But there was 2 of them. I do remember there were 2, and then like I put them under a cup for some reason.
So they wouldn't get away?
Yeah, but like that doesn't. It's not a good idea either. But anyway, like, and then as I was trying to put them down, like it kind of got half out, and then like I panicked. I didn't want it to leave, and I accidentally like. And I think I just did it to one because I don't think I would have done it again.
That's fucking
I was traumatized. I was like, oh my god, I killed my pet.
That's fucking metal.
I had 2 hamsters, and one ate the other.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Because they needed to survive.
You didn't feed them?
Feed him?
You forget as a kid, you forget. You forget key things. Sometimes you're like, I fed that guy. And then like,
Oh no.
one ate the other. I wonder what happened.
Like, what did that look like? Like, what happened?
Neatly stacked bones.
Wait, really? For real? Clean?
Neatly stacked bones.
I'll leave them alone!
I forgot I had hamsters.
Oh, there are things a lot. The clean though.
Is there any fur left?
Not one shred of fur.
Where was the hamster like terrarium thing that you like kept it in like a cage? Or
Yeah, in your bedroom?
like where did you put that like cage of like hamsters that you just forgot about it?
Yeah, I mean, it is in the middle of my room for sure. It's a place I definitely should have seen a lot.
Yeah.
I'll never get over the bone.
You know what would be really funny if your parents were like, you'd be really great if we took out one of the hamsters and we put a chicken bone in there. It'd be so funny when Steve comes home.
To this day, I honestly think that actually what happened was some kind of act of aggression
Oh, yeah.
between them 2.
because we had this like figure thing that like was actually stocked up.
Yeah.
But it's way more fun to tell the first part.
Yeah.
True.
Damn, so you know.
He was so angry, he ate him to the bone. He didn't just kill him.
Is that common amongst hamsters, you think?
I've never heard of that.
No, well, they were not regular hamsters. They were albino hamsters. They had like red eyes and they were all white.
Why'd you get this serious looking hamster?
They were mean as fuck. And I remember my mom told me, she's like, Steven, that goes out of regular hamsters. They have albino hamsters. Now, there's some life lesson for me. Like, on the day of my birthday, I just wanted to get hamsters, right? And then she's like, well, you can wait, you can get the hamsters that you want, or you can have your gratification today. And I was like, I want it today. And then I got hamsters that, as soon as I took them home and put them in the cage, they bit me so hard that he was hanging from my finger as I put them in the cage. And it was all downhill from there. They were aggressive as fuck.
That's cute as fuck too, though. It does look like mice.
Yeah, red eyes.
It's like mouse.
It's like the lab rat.
Those are mean motherfuckers right there, dude.
Mean motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Like to eat each other.
I never like wanted to take care of a hamster because I went to like a pet store with my mom and we were just like looking around, and then I know that you probably weren't supposed to do this, but I was a kid and I was dumb, and then I was like, I want to pet the hamster, so I put my finger like in the cage. Yeah, and they bit me, and then I started bleeding, and I was like, and my mom was like, what happened? I was like, and then she like looked, she's like, oh, you got bit? I was like, and I couldn't talk, and then so she like put like a napkin around it, and she just continued walking around the store because I think she was like looking for fish or whatever.
Comfort me. Like, fish for what?
Fish tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really was, honestly, because I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised.
My grandma did that with turtles.
There was no fish in the grocery store.
She prepared turtles.
You went from the pet store and ate them?
No, not from the pet store, but like from like 99 Ranch, like way back in the day.
They were meant to be eaten.
I know, but like when my grandma bought them, I honestly thought, I was like, cool, we got new pets. And she put them like in this big bucket, and I was like, hi guys, welcome to the family. Oh, you said welcome to the family. And I was like, hey guys, and then
They handed you a knife and they were like, Julia, do the honors.
no, and then I think I went to school and then I came back, and then my mom was like, oh, here, have some soup. And I was like, oh, okay. So I drank some soup, and I was like, wow, this soup is pretty good. And then as I like scooped another one with like my soup spoon, like I saw like one of the like the flippers. What is this? And they're like, oh, it's turtle soup. And I was like, Charlie, I'm a monster. And then I was like, where did we get these turtles? And he was like, you know, the ones we bought yesterday. And I was like, what?
You don't remember the ones that you named last night?
I never named
So excited.
You said welcome to the family.
I know I said welcome to the family, but I never named them.
Oh man, imagine you did that. Would you have been like, Charlie?
I know.
That's traumatizing.
I was so tired. I couldn't drink the rest of the soup.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fucking turtle drinker. Turtle drinker.
No man, my grandpa used to raise rabbits for food and pets, I guess. I don't know. The point is, he had a shit ton of rabbits, and he would sell them, and he would also cook them. And one time, I was around, and he just got the rabbit, and he was about to do it. Now I can't. So my memory's fucked up now, but I can't remember if I saw the killing or if I did it now. But the point is, they ended up making that food later, and I was like, I'm not touching it at all. Like, it just.
Reminds me of when we were at Long Beach one time. They would have the like peanut mouth in it. Hey, watch this video of turtles getting slaughtered. We'll give you $1. And
What?
now they incentivize to watch it because no one wants to watch that, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, they watch this terrible video of like farming
$1 or like $5.
We'll give you $1. And I was like, sweet. So we did that, and then we went and used $1 and bought some chicken nuggets.
Nice.
Capitalism.
Hey, Dad, PETA.
A whole bunch of displays, and they're like being made.
Yeah.
Just like,
I never went in, but I remember my girl was junior, like Mr. Biggie Cheeseburger walking by me, like, wow, that's just wild, man.
Hey, we found to make these things, now we know.
It's a 2 for $6 deal. I got another one if you want to share, you know. Spread the love, you know.
Jeez, so you didn't feel anything in it.
No,
I'm hungry.
True.
But I mean, I already knew how it went down.
Yeah, seeing animals die, like being slaughtered, doesn't really faze me. I've actually seen pigs being slaughtered in front of me. Like, I still don't like the noise. You see the struggle and everything.
Huh?
Yeah, I've seen it in Hawaii. Like, I was at a wedding, and like this family, they were butchers, and so they decided to butcher some pigs in their backyard.
Yeah.
And I guess they knew how to do it officially. They like found it.
Yeah.
And they like the jugular and all that stuff, and then like, and it's just you see it all happen in front of you, and maybe I was shook for like 10 minutes, and the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, is that the barbecue?
Well, and then you smelled it, and you're like,
let's dig in, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I still don't like it, so I try to cut back on meat. But I don't know. Steaks, you know?
Pig for me is tough because they're so smart, apparently.
Very smart.
They're so goddamn delicious.
Have you seen videos of like baby cows?
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah,
People adopting cows and shit.
adopting. Oh, really?
Yeah, it just plays around with their dogs and stuff in the
Pigs
backyard.
too.
Yeah,
I know.
My friend was fostering a pig.
I want to foster a pig, but I also want to cook bacon sometimes.
Yeah, it would feel weird.
Do you think it's fucked up to?
I think it's fucked up.
Do you think it's fucked up to feed a pig bacon?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fucked up.
Absolutely.
Do you also think it's kind of funny too?
It's kind of funny.
Absolutely.
Good. And where are we going?
Duality of man.
Spring body wash. Your shower.
Alright, what are some of the most weirdest jobs out there that you've been like just
The dildo nipper. The person who paints the dildos.
That's a weird job.
Oh, they paint it?
Yeah, the inside is like a kind of like a factory where, you know, different people have different stations. There's a dildo and its finishing process. One person has to like dip the penis head in a certain like pinkish purple.
Wow.
Like color lines too.
Assembly lines.
I thought the material of the dildo itself would be the color.
I thought it was. You buy a high quality one. I dare you to Google dildo dipper. I don't know what you're gonna find. I'm still gonna look, but still.
Well, that makes me feel. I don't want to do this by myself.
What if the peel paints in the pussy?
Ooh, shit, that's very tense very fast.
There's a peel paint to the pussy. Peel paint to the pussy. When you think your job shit, just remember you could be Maria the dildo dipper.
Oh, to give it the pink head.
Look at that. She's passing. Oh, yeah, the pink head.
See it?
What? I don't want that.
Dildo dipper. Maria.
That's a big ass dildo.
I think you won. I can't think of another one that's weirder than that one.
That's not that bad. I think you beat this article.
I said bad. Which is weird job or bad job? Weird job. Weird.
Well, Joe said in Japan, the government has people that are, that jack people off that are in the hospital.
Yeah, they're nurses.
That to me is more
I want to be a
normal
nurse.
because you're providing some sort of care. Like it's an essential
checking
need.
someone off.
It's essential need, right? But this one, it's like you can't even have work talk. Like, you know, if you're like if you're like an accountant, you come back home, you want to talk to your wife or whatever about what happened at work. Like, it's just.
You think you can talk about
backyard barbecue and the whole neighborhood's there. And you're like, oh, so what do you do?
You can't share with your kids.
You still can't do that with your kids either.
Yeah. If you're like a police officer or like a firefighter, I saved a cat from a tree. You're talking to a kid. That's what Dad did today. This one's like, hey, mommy, what did you do today? I was holding all these big old penises.
That one, but jacking someone off? I don't know why I pointed at you.
Well, there's levels after that. I helped someone. I provided testicular relief today.
Yeah, release the pressure.
Yeah, but anyone that
half the brain is gonna be like, oh, see Jackson.
I feel like these crazier jobs, you have more interesting stories. Like, you don't want to hear about some fucker who saved a cat. I want to hear about the lady who dips dickheads.
Dude, honestly, I think we, like, specifically JK Party, like, we have had a really weird job.
JK Party's a weird
challenges and like eating some weird ass shit. Like, that was pretty
true, because like when we meet people that aren't in the YouTube game, like, you know, we just have small talk, and I'm like, yeah, so what we do is, I'm like, I don't know I don't know where to start.
That's like a choice, right?
Yeah.
It's like you like choose to do that, not necessarily for money. It's like you choose that, and then like money is
it's a passion, not a job.
Yeah. Whereas in other instances, maybe it's like I'm down to do this for money. Like Maria, she pointed out somebody other.
That's probably not her passion.
And then in terms of like family conversations, let's say everybody already knows that she does that. The next time you're gonna have a family conversation, it's like I beat my record today, 648 dildo dips. Yeah.
We'll get for Christmas.
You need to get Employee of the Year. Like, you know how they have a certificate? And Maria has a fucking quickest dildo in the West certificate.
There's like Guinness World Record has to come in and like fucking time it officially.
Oh, like the fucking pizza boxer guy that goes,
Yeah, there's gotta be the same kind of competitions for dildo dipping. Yeah.
That was good skills right there. I like this.
Yeah, shit to get it, and you just have to go quick.
She's probably like thinking, how many women like these big fucking dicks?
Well, you didn't even think that was the first like 5 minutes. Yeah. She's like, ay Dios mío, but then after that, she's like, whatever. Alright, so we work hard, right?
Imagine being her husband too. Where like she's doing that for 8 hours at work, right?
Like, oh,
so when she's thinking about grabbing the penis, her hands are like this.
They're like this already.
And then when he's like, "You going to jack me off tonight?"
Oh,
and he goes, "Oh yeah." And then she goes like this, and she's like, "Oh." And the husband's like, "Oh." And never mind, my feelings are hurt.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks to be the husband of Maria.
Feeding Gonzalez as her husband.
Alright, so I have here's an interesting job. So women in Taiwan are now earning up to about $9,500 a month as gaming partners.
What does that mean?
Like sit there and watch a game?
What?
Like a cheerleader.
I'm down.
Pretty much. Like a cheerleader.
Hired?
Like a cheerleader.
I'm down. A massage?
Like I'm doing the job right now. Yeah, so if I was playing games,
a massage, food,
I'm like,
just, you know, like, yeah, massage, sing a song for me. Does she rest her tits on your neck?
Yeah, is there like a job description that
like,
you know of?
Yes, I do. Okay. Wait, that's distracting. Wow. Okay, I want tits on my neck. It's kind of like that back massage spread tits.
Yeah, you want her to have them like that? You want them here. That means she's gotta be really, really wide.
No, he wants them here, so it's gotta like come wide and long.
When it gets cold.
They gotta be his boobs. They gotta like
covers his mansions.
That's nice.
Yeah, all you have to do is just this.
It's like a scarf titty.
True. Scarf titty.
All right, so this is what a
stress balls are.
All right, so this is what a
I'm toasty. Instead of having the 2 drinks on your side, you just kind of.
You have beer and
You threw it away. You get tired from playing, you gotta wake yourself up.
It's like a fucking roller coaster ride. She comes in. All right, let's do this.
That's a business idea. They're very versatile.
Yeah.
Hanging the boobies.
Hanging boobs. Can we try that one out?
Sure.
Thanks for the idea.
I've been looking them up all day, man.
All right, so a gaming partner. This is what the job description is. All right, so providing a variety of additional services for their gaming clients, accompanying gamers may work part-time or full-time, so it's a part-time or full-time job. Profiles list a photo of themselves, managed seemingly with filters on their faces, accompanied by a description of their services. So what they're talking about here,
filters on their face.
Yeah, I know.
what they're talking about here is this one.
I was hoping there was an explanation.
So I guess there's a site. There's a site like as a database for you to shop around for your
Gaming partner.
Your gaming partner, yeah. Oh, so she's online. She's never there with you.
Yeah, are they there physically?
Oh, that's like the whole roster. So she's just like a window in your game, just like.
Yeah, maybe it's
like a shared
I'm
space.
down.
Interact with you. But yeah, so it's like a lot. They do have filters on, so like they're definitely hamming up the filters and trying to make them look very, very. They got like 5 dudes on different computers, and she's just saying the same thing. Yay! Go! G's a month then. It's like, remember that Hong Kong Pokemon Go, Grandpa? Where we had like 50 fucking phones, and he was just like...
It was like a wall of phones.
You should just have a wall of phones and just pretend like they're all your boyfriends.
It's a lot of, what do you call it? Like, energy? Yeah, the energy to play it. And like very attentively, like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. Alright, so women's main tasks are taking part in the game as well as helping gamers relax during practice sessions. For an extra fee, some offer added services such as singing a lullaby for their clients to sleep and then waking them up later. So there are human alarm clocks.
Wow.
And
there's a lot of gray area here.
Absolutely. Competitive income. Compared to a regular 9-to-5 office job, the flexibility of the work as well as the potentially high income has resulted in an increasing number of young women becoming accompanying gamers.
They just have to be used to the hours of like 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it's just like you just have to just dial it over to the late night
game hours. Yeah.
This is what gamers are making. Accompanying gamers are making 150 Taiwan dollars to 500 Taiwan dollars an hour, which equals $5 US to $17 US an hour. They are paid in half-day, weekly, or monthly rates. More satisfied clients might also provide occasional cash gifts to the accompanying gamers, ensuring that they will be using the services for a longer amount of time. So this is kind of like the webcam culture, right? This is kind of like when you like
Twitch or live streaming.
Except they're not gaming; they're watching you game.
That's just how big the industry is going.
You're just streaming.
It's like a leech, an algae, but not in a bad way, in a helpful way to the ecosystem, right?
Right. That's true. They suck a lot.
I thought they would at least be there in person. Then I'm like, okay, that's like you're earning.
That's an extra fee.
Maybe after the pandemic, this idea can blossom into something completely different.
Double.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like cheerleading support.
Yeah, exactly. So a full timer can make $3,406 a month, whereas they call, and then I guess I don't know how you become a video game expert, but there's a term called video game expert, and you can make up to $9,540.
Maybe they actually play the game too, and they're just
they give tips. Oh, you gotta make a right turn right there.
Well, that's the gift. That's the cash gifts that they're able to give or receive.
What? Giving tips? Or like, oh no, like gaming tips.
Oh, not money tips, but gaming tips. Oh,
yeah, like if the chick actually knew how to play, then she could kind of be like his second set of eyes.
Yeah, because if she's into the game and she's watching so much gameplay from so many other people, like, she can also, like, help out and be like, oh yeah, I've seen this map before, you just gotta make a right here and do this and this or whatever,
That's true, because when Isaac and I were playing, Crash Bandicoot, and then so there would be like these certain moves they had to make, like jump and then get the box, and then make sure to go to the right to avoid this one thing, and then whatever. And so like I was kind of like there coaching him and like supporting him, so I can see how that works now.
Should have charged him.
Yeah, I know. Well, I do.
True. Chores.
Got it.
Mop it. Filling up the water.
That's how you charge them exactly the amount it costs to wash your car. So it just evened out. You wash my car, I'll watch you play.
Just an exchange of $10.
Do you guys believe in making them just work without getting paid for shit? Because I think that's a good idea, but it sucks.
It's a balance. We looked into this. I was looking into it. But yeah, there's like 3 different ways of approaching like money with your kid. There's you're gonna get paid no matter what happens, once a week allowance. There's you're only gonna get paid per task. Like
that was mine.
Whatever you want to do, that's how you're gonna get paid. And then there's the blend of the two, where it's like you get your weekly allowance, but if you want to get more money, then you can do extra chores, and these chores have.
It sounds like real life. It's like commission only, salary, or commission, or salary plus commission.
Yeah.
But also in my.
So he's at 1099 at home.
Yeah. In my house though, it was like, if I tell you to fucking do it, you do it, I'll kick your ass. So I was in North Korea.
Which is why you want Somalia now.
You're explaining a 4th option, which is just do the fucking work. There's no money here. Just do it.
Just fucking do it. Yep.
guys know you can listen to my No Clips podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Clips YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to the Small Sesh Sunday special. Today we are talking about Forbes releasing the list for the 10 highest paid YouTubers, Variety announcing that Charlie and her family are going to be in a Hulu docu-series, Bryce Hall getting a strike on his YouTube channel, Trisha is trying to cancel Addison Rae, and Jeffree Star being scared to post on his own YouTube channel. Let's get into it. So first, let's start off with the highest paid YouTube stars of 2020. This was a list announced by Forbes. And at number 10, we have Jeffree Star, who we all know. Then we've got David Dobrik, Lippy, who makes his content. If you guys do not know, a lot of family channels honestly talk about him all the time. So we have Nastia, she does toy reviews, like Ryan does toy reviews, Preston, Arsman, Markiplier, Rhett and Link, Perfect, Mr. Beast, and then Ryan's toy reviews. Which, honestly, guys, I did not know he had a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade float, and that is, like, so crazy. I can't believe how famous he is, and he's so young. Let me know what you guys think about this list. It's honestly just so crazy to know that Ryan is number 1 at the age of 9. It still blows my mind to this day. But anyways, let's move on to some other news that was announced this week, and that is the fact that the D'Amelio family is going to star in a Hulu docuseries called The D'Amelio Show. It's going to be an 8-episode series that comes out next year, and there's been a lot of talks about them doing a reality show this year. A lot of times there's just been rumors about it, but now it's obviously official that they're going to be doing something in the TV realm, and it's going to be on Hulu.
We are so excited to announce that we have an original series of YouTube Hulu in 2020. We can't wait to share our lives with you all and show you our day-to-day in LA.
And we can't wait for you to get to us all.
So I definitely want to know what you guys think about this. There are a lot of mixed comments on my Instagram when I posted about it, but I definitely am interested to know what they're going to be doing and talking about on this docuseries. Now, moving into the drama of the week, we've got Bryce Hall getting a strike on his YouTube channel. So basically, Bryce got into some drama this week because he was accused by YouTube for harassment and cyberbullying after he made a video responding to FaZe Jarvis leaking Addison Rae's number. So he leaked Addison's number. I don't know any of the repercussions that might have happened to him for doing that, but Bryce in turn decided that he was going to leak his number, and YouTube gave him a strike because he showed FaZe Jarvis's number in his video. And so he tweeted out, "My channel got a strike on YouTube, can't post for a week, thus pushing back Vlogmas, working on it now." And he posted the screenshots of them saying that he wasn't going to be able to post content and that he received a strike for this. And he did try to get this strike removed and like appeal the strike and try to test some connections about it to try to get it removed, but he ended up not being able to get that removed. And so he tweeted, "So guys, I'm off YouTube for a week. I need this time to work on my cyberbullying and harassment habits. Thank you YouTube for giving me this opportunity to reflect on my immature."
For people living with HIV, keep being you and ask your doctor about Biktarvy. Biktarvy is a complete one-pill, once-a-day treatment used for HIV in certain adults. It's not a cure.
Ways, even though Jarvis did the same thing and got no penalties or warnings. Love Bryce Hall. So Bryce is saying that Jarvis got nothing for what he did, so that's so weird and kind of frustrating. But speaking of Bryce Hall and all of his friends, honestly, let's get into the fact that Trisha Paytas was on one of Bryce's friends, Josh Richards' podcast with Dave Portnoy from Barstool. They have a podcast together called BFFs, and Trisha Paytas was giving a ton of opinions like usual, and one of her opinions was on Addison Rae. And she says that she would cancel Addison Rae, she doesn't like Addison Rae, and she said she was watching the Zayn and Heath podcast one day. And on this podcast, Addison was saying that she can't relate to anybody because she's so famous. And she said that that really hit her the wrong way, and that she did not like that Addison was trying to act like she's stuck up and so famous and more famous than anyone that she can't relate to anybody.
She said, and I quote, "Nobody has been as popular around me on social media, so there's nobody I can talk to because no one's been as famous as me." And I was like, oh, like what?
And Bryce commented on this because the TikTok room posted this and said, honestly, they should just stop this podcast. Well, a lot of the comments were like, Trisha, you got it wrong. That's not what Addison said on this podcast. It was really hard for me to believe that she would even say anything like that, because obviously it sounds really like conceited and really full of yourself, and like you're too famous to, you know, be friends with anyone because no one can relate to you. Like, oh, I was so famous. But what was actually said is that Addison was talking about how, you know, fame and followers and all of this stuff can make it really hard on your mental health.
I think it's dealing with like my mental health is like I don't have enough time for that sometimes. You know, I'm so busy with other things. But the good thing is like I love all the things I'm busy with. Like, and I'm obsessed with them and they're amazing. And I couldn't imagine spending my time any other way. But it's like at the same time, it's like there are like, oh, I read the comments, or like, oh, I on my free page I see you guys, and I see this and I see that, and it's like upsetting and like hurtful.
And it's really hard to relate to other people, you know, mentally that are not on TikTok and don't understand the platform.
Like, I feel like influencers throughout like 8 years altogether, I feel like has not gotten what you guys are getting in that short amount of time. Like,
no, I agree, and it's insane to me. Yeah. It's so crazy. And I think that's another part of it too, is like there's not really that many people you can go to and like ask, like, what do I do? What am I feeling? Because there's just, it hasn't been like this, you know, really ever like this.
So the fact that Trisha was trying to make this like a Addison is super conceited, I don't like her type of thing, whereas Addison was really just trying to be like, this lifestyle can be really hard on your mental health, and it's really hard to just kind of like explain that to people that aren't in this industry and that don't know TikTok hate and backlash, don't understand or haven't been there before receiving it themselves. Now, another part of this is the fact that Trisha, while talking about Addison, was trying to say that she didn't really know Addison, and this was like the first time that she was like really seeing her.
I never had a problem with her. She rubbed me the wrong way on a podcast she did called Big and Heat Podcast. And honestly, I didn't. Know her name, I recognized her face, and it rubbed me the wrong way. She was very, very arrogant. I didn't like that about an 18-year-old.
And I think that is absolutely crazy because a couple of months ago, Trisha literally did a podcast with her sister. It was 3 months ago, titled Cancel Jacqueline Hill, Addison Rae, and Tana Mojo. It was her like last dish with Trish, basically. She did it with her sister, and I even talked about it because she was calling out Addison Rae and her mom, so she knows exactly who Addison is. And she said like she felt bad for Addison because her family was like feeding off of her fame and all of this stuff, and that her mom is out here doing the WAP. She like literally went off on Addison, and the title even says Cancel Addison. So the fact that she's here saying like she didn't really know her and this was the reason why she didn't like her, it's like you have not liked Addison for a ton of other reasons, and you even made a video on her. So the fact that she was trying to play it off was absolutely ridiculous. Like the lies that she tells is crazy. She can't keep track of her own lies and who she likes and doesn't like at this point. Now, moving into Jeffree Star, we've got to discuss the fact that Jeffree seems a little scared to be posting on his YouTube channel. Seems like Jeffree is doing all that he can to not only avoid that insider article that I made a video about, and also have a podcast episode about it that is completely uncensored, so I was not going to leave out any details that were being said about Jeffree, the things that he's being accused of, but it seems like he's been doing everything in his power to avoid being on YouTube since these accusations have come out, and he has just gone to Wyoming and decided that he is going to like honestly start fresh. Now he hasn't permanently moved there and sold his house in Calabasas. He's still going back and forth, but he's spending a ton of more time there, moving his cars there, opening new businesses there, and the times that he is posting on the internet have been exclusively on Instagram for the most part. And he recently was discussing that he is just like not feeling YouTube anymore. He says he's like not very motivated to make videos, and every time he comes on to make videos, people are like, you're here to sell something. I think the big question is, why isn't he posting on his channel a lot more like he used to? He used to post a ton of videos on his channel, but I think the thing with Jeffree now is that there's so much that has come out about him that he cannot address, probably because of legal repercussions if he were to say anything, honestly. I think it's really hurting him in the end because he's just avoiding all sites of controversy at this point, and he can't really get on camera and try to be this fake person because obviously he's going to end up getting a lot more backlash at the end of the day for simply just like ignoring things that are being said about him and not denouncing these things, which only leads people to believe that they are real in some capacity. Because in the past, anytime things have been said about Jeffrey, he has been so quick to say that they are all lies, they're all fake, and this has truly been like the year where he really hasn't been able to do that. Obviously, lawyers are involved, and it's very serious, the things that he's being accused of, but it's not even like Jeffrey is coming on camera for like his diehard fans and are being like, I can't talk about some things very serious and trying to say that he's like handling it. He isn't saying that at all. He's literally just saying nothing. And I think that that is almost worse, because leaving even the people that love him confused, and it's kind of hurting him overall, and he won't even acknowledge the things that have been said about him. Him and Shane have both honestly been resorting to solely posting on Instagram. The two of them have really stuck to Ryland's podcast, Instagram stories, and we've got, Jeffrey doing an IGTV. There was a post of Shane doing an IGTV, but he deleted it immediately. It was him promoting his Christmas song from years ago. But it just seems like the two of them have really found a place on Instagram where they feel a lot of comfort, and they feel like they can post without kind of getting a lot of hate from people. And I think that's really, really interesting. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys thought about everything that we talked about today. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
What's up, guys? Tipster here, and today I have a new video for you guys. And it seems like every time we turn around, Jake Paul is in the news for another situation that he's gotten himself involved in, and this one is quite serious if true. I want to preface this by saying that these are allegations at this moment in time, but it's still something that I think is worth talking about. Now, what exactly am I talking about here? Let me bring your attention to this article over on Dexerto. This is that Jake Paul is being sued by a man claiming he was beaten up at a boxing after party. So, allegedly, either Jake Paul or members of his crew assaulted this guy at the infamous Nate Robinson after party, after Jake Paul won that fight or whatever. In any case, let's continue with the article here. It says YouTube star Jake Paul is facing a lawsuit from a disgruntled partygoer who claims that the influencer's crew roughed him up during the after party of his victory of Nate Robinson. On November 28th, Jake Paul scored a second-round KO over NBA star Nate Robinson, marking the second victory of his professional boxing career. To celebrate, the YouTube star threw a massive after-party in spite of current nationwide, health restrictions. It seems these packed events had even more violence in store for one of its attendees. According to one Gabriel Dos Santos, a few members of Jake Paul's posse violently attacked him, leaving him bruised and bloodied, as evidenced by a few key photos taken after the incident went down. Now we have this is a video of the party. We've seen this numerous times where Jake Paul will hold these parties, just basically ignoring all the restrictions for COVID-19 and stuff like that. It's not even worth reporting at this point. He's done it so many times at this point that it's just, I feel like I'm, DJ Khaled saying another one every time I report on one. So the last few times he's done it, I haven't even really bothered to comment on it, but since it ties in to this story here, I figured it would be worth commenting on. In any case, they had this, celebratory after party at Jake Paul's place, and apparently this guy got roughed up over here. Anyway, you see, video of the party here. We don't need to watch the other. It's an after party or whatever. Santos says the attacker punched and kicked him in the body and legs and face repeatedly, leaving him bruised and battered. The beatdown allegedly occurred as Paul was kicking people out of his celebratory gathering. Documents obtained by TMZ stated that Dos Santos suffered a dislocated shoulder, a fractured cheek, bruises to his forehead and eyes, and even cuts to his face as a result of the assault. While Jake himself has not been accused of taking part in the violence, Dos Santos claims that he should take responsibility for having hired people who attacked him. And these are very serious claims. So it seems like Jake himself wasn't necessarily involved in the assault here, which is a good thing for him, obviously. But if these are people who are members of his crew, people that he employs doing this on his behalf, then that's not a good look for Jake. It could seriously get him into a lot of trouble here. There is an Instagram post that they embed in this article, but I'm assuming it was deleted. It looks like it was on Jake Paul's account, so unfortunately, we can't really see the post here. Actually, let's see if this takes us to it. Oh, the post is still available. Apparently, the embed just isn't working. Not sure why this was embedded. It just kind of shows here with this belt, but okay. Not really sure how that's relevant to the article here. In any case, video taken shortly after the incident shows a bloody and beleaguered Dos Santos walking alongside a buddy who tells the camera that Jake Paul's crew just jumped my friend. They literally just kicked you in the fucking face, the cameraman comments. Dude, holy fuck, are you okay? To which Dos Santos replies with a wary no. Thus far, Jake Paul hasn't publicly responded to the allegations, but it is far from the first lawsuit he dealt with during his career as a YouTube star. And they have a video here, the video is by TMZ, so I'm not going to be able to play it full screen for you guys. I'm not going to be able to play it with audio. TMZ is pretty notorious for issuing copyright claims and stuff like that, so I'm just going to have it playing in the background while I commentate over it here. It looks like we're going to get an ad. Oh boy, gotta love the ads here. But just kind of while we wait for the video to start here, these are very serious allegations. Obviously, this is not a good look for Jake Paul and his entourage, and who knows, what's going to happen as a result of this lawsuit here. All right, let's take a look at the video here. You can see this guy is in really bad shape, like horrible shapes. Look at that dude's face. Like, if this is true, and it seems like there's a good chance that it could be, Jake Paul's crew just beat the crap out of this guy. And apparently it was because they were trying to get people to carry the after party, and I guess some people were refusing to. I guess maybe this guy was being a little unruly or whatever. I don't think this is the way to handle that. Maybe if someone refuses to leave your home, maybe the appropriate action would be to call the police and have them force him to leave. But I don't think beating the shit out of the guy is going to bode very well for Jake Paul and his crew. The influencer has been hit with a number of lawsuits in the past, including a bystander claiming that one of his pranks gave him hearing damage, as well as a follower property owner who claimed he had destroyed a $10 million mansion during his 2018 birthday getaway. For now, all fans can do is watch and wait to see if the youngest Paul brother has anything to say about Santos' story. And so far, he hasn't said anything about this. In fact, so far I haven't seen anybody really report on this situation. I've actually been sitting on this situation for a few days now. I just haven't been able to report it because there have been bigger topics to talk about, before this. But having said that, this is an interesting story that I haven't really seen a whole lot of other people comment on. So I wanted to share it with you guys and give my thoughts. If true, this is a bad look for Jake Paul and his entourage. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens as a result of this lawsuit. If we get any more updates, you can bet your ass I'll definitely report them for you guys. But until then, those are just my opinions. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd always like to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, guys, this is Tipster here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Miss Grace is you're the best.
Oh. チェーンの効果が切れねえと優勢から攻撃できねえ。クラスターペンデュラムがシンクロ素材になったことにより俺はカード1枚ドロー。このカードに逆転をかける。俺は1枚のカードを伏せる。さらに永続トラス発動。セーフを自分のターンのエンドフェイズライフを1000払うことでセイバースタードラゴンがフィールドを離れる効果を無効にする。ターンエンドだ。
Let's just leave. Although I appreciate everything you've done, I'd prefer if I didn't mooch off you. But you're not! There are so many things. The baptism, registering at the guild. You all got me where I am today. It's been great. Too great. I feel like your hospitality is spoiling me. So now, it's time for me to take a step back.
What in the world are you boys doing?
I understand, but just so we're clear, this separation isn't going to last forever, right?
No, don't get the wrong idea. I love your family way too much to make this permanent. I just want to retrain myself, rely on my own capabilities. That's all.
Well then, when you're ready to come back, know you'll be welcome.
But Mother, you don't care if he leaves?
You'll be leaving us as well when you go to school. Ryoma just wants to spread his wings a little bit. Oh no, he's still so young to fly the nest. 11-year-olds are allowed to be dependent. It's fine, especially for somebody like Ryoma. He deserves to be spoiled.
Don't feel like that, Elise. We had a feeling that this day was coming.
I know we did.
What feeling?
Feeling that this day was coming.
I know we did.
What feeling? So you knew?
I wouldn't say new, but we did anticipate you'd have a desire to live by yourself eventually.
Really?
You're a talented child, and we've seen others just like you.
Marcos? Another Venerda.
I am nothing if not consistent, my friend.
Not to mention how diligent you were in doing so. You did this as if it were completely natural. Which is exactly why you requested to venture out on your own.
No one makes a hasty exit like you.
You're welcome.
I never even dreamed this might happen.
However, I don't think we realize just how soon you'd leave us.
We won't try and persuade you to stay here.
Cassandra, welcome to the newest of the Marcos estates. I wasn't expecting company, but one must always be prepared. Wine?
Marcos,
You may go.
Believe it, my friend. I'm not a man of one city, but of all cities. Who am I to deny the rest of the Greek world what I have to offer?
Second condition is every once in a while you have to pay us a visit.
Sure. Don't hesitate to ask us for help should a need ever arise. It's most vital, okay?
Right.
you made it a long way from home.
I could say the same to you. Did you find...
I'm still...
Hopefully you'll have as much good...
Here, Marcos.
Since Goss is for...
The second condition is every once in a while you have to pay us a visit.
I see the resemblance.
We come from a...
I remember you telling me you're...
Right, this is my adopted mama. We've become so close, she wouldn't have it any other way.
Come on, Marcos.
Well, mama is the owner of the vineyard.
So you stepped into her...
It's ridiculous, a wonderful lady. She put up a fuss.
That you agree to one additional condition before you go.
It's a nice place you've commandeered, Marcos.
If I didn't know you...
You weren't laughing much when you were tied up.
About that, I have a bit of a problem.
Why am I not surprised?
But it's something I know you could...
Go on.
You know me. I borrow something at me, and before I know...
Cerberus?
Don't be ridiculous. This is nothing like the Cyclops. This stuff...
Finest.
I'm sure you will.
Cassandra,
You're sure?
I promise I can afford...
So we're in agreement then. If you forget for some reason
Fine.
or another, I will be very angry with you.
I can
I'll do my
always
best to
count
make sure
on
that
you.
doesn't happen.
Cerberus,
What
but...
is it to say you promise you won't forget?
Oh, and before I forget, there is one last thing.
What haven't we covered?
For the remainder of our stay in Gimel, you'll reside in this inn with us.
But I can't. I feel like
This isn't your decision to make.
if I stay here, I'll still be relying on you.
I beg to differ.
Yes, I think you'll be fine.
I don't see a problem.
Neither do I.
I do.
Try looking again.
But
It's our final condition, so you have to agree to it.
Right. I guess I'm staying here then.
Great. What delightful news.
You can say that again. While we're on the topic, how long will you be?
I suppose it must have slipped our minds.
We intend to stay in town until the time of the Growth Rock outbreak.
It must have slipped our minds.
We intend to stay in town until the time of the Growth Rock outbreak. Rock outbreak? Hold on just a second. Growth Rogs are the ones whose hides are used to making armor, right?
And in addition to that, their organs are used to make top-notch medicine.
Wow.
Every year, without fail, they show up in droves at a lake not too far from here.
So you want to fight them for combat training?
Not combat training. Our real targets are actually the lemur birds that arrive at the same time as the frogs. We still call it the Grell frog outbreak, though.
What is a lemur bird? This. Its feathers sure are beautiful.
And their songs are equally beautiful. Their speed is another trait that makes people want them. The thing is, they're very tricky to catch, so not many tamers have had much luck with that. They're a rarity, to say the least.
Not during the outbreak, though. They almost cover the whole lake. Sounds like something to see.
You'll be able to if you accompany us when we go.
Yes, I think it'd be a good opportunity for you, Mr. Ryoma.
All right. You don't have to twist my arm for this. How wonderful. We are going to have so much fun. You'll see. Yeah, I bet. Can't wait.
So tell me, Ryoma, since you're not depending on us anymore, what are you planning to do?
First off, I'd like to live in Gimel as an adventurer for a while. I'll establish connections and continue to train in the process. And I might even start my own business. What kind? Well, I was thinking of starting a laundry service. With the help of the click kind. Well, I was thinking of starting a laundry service. With the help of the cleaner slimes, that is. If I say I can clean stains as tough as goblin grime in my advertisements, I think I can make enough money to pay for necessities, so...
You surely will.
Have you been eavesdropping this whole time?
I know what this looks like, but not all of us are to blame. It was Camille's idea.
Hey, don't try and pin this entire thing on me. I'm confident your laundry service will be a fruitful endeavor.
Wow, that's encouraging.
If you only knew the amazing amount of stuff that gets tossed by adventurers because the icky grime or awful smell won't come out, you'd understand what a godsend your business will be. Much cheaper to clean than buy new gear.
You'd see the approach while making your own.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. That's very interesting. Ryoma, you should discuss this with Serge at the Morgan Trading Company. He'll make sure you start on the right foot.
Okay.
Well then, since you'll be looking for work anyway, would you mind taking on a job for us?
Sure, what kind?
The kind that would have you managing the mines with the time you have in between managing your new business and your Adventurer Guild missions. You'd only have to check it periodically, so it doesn't turn into a monster's den.
Gotcha. That won't be any trouble. It won't be trouble for me, but somehow I'm still troubling them and getting their help despite being independent. Oh well. I know I'm always telling you this, but thank you. I should be happy that these people care about me as much as they do. It's a good thing. A very good thing. The next day, the lady in
The Morgan Trading Company. He'll make sure you start on the right foot.
Okay.
Well then.
I went to Morgan Trading Company to discuss my business venture with Mr. Serge.
Are you the Cerberus?
Who wants to know?
Magnificent!
Only one head.
Grime completely vanished in a matter
A
of
gift
mere
for you.
seconds.
Have you ever had Marcos?
What's so good
Cleaner
about
slimes. Who knew such a creature existed?
If you
Yet
save
another
it,
splendid idea from
you'll-
that wonderful,
He's not gonna
brilliant
win
mind
me
of
over
yours.
with wine. I never forget whose purse my Drachmigos.
It's a peace offering. A thank you for waiting so
I
patiently.
can practically see the piles
Then
of money
drink.
you'll be raking in.
All right.
Mr. Serge?
I was just thinking how smart it would be if you went ahead and registered with the Merchants Guild.
The Merchants Guild?
Yes. I know your business is up and coming, and don't endorse establishments that can barely make ends meet. But
That's
there's not a
just
doubt in my
why.
mind that your cleaning service will have the slightest bit of trouble achieving a decent profit.
Oh, wow. You really think it makes a profit? I guarantee it.
I suggest you register as soon as possible, just so that they can cause trouble for you further on down the road. There's no time like the present, as they say, so why don't we go and do it now?
You don't mind coming too?
Although I'm older, I can still get out and about. I simply cannot get over how amazing this laundry service idea is. So much money! Just wait, you'll see for yourself. And whatever you need, I'm Serge Morgan, there to assist you in any way that I can.
A little dramatic, but
Still have the taste of Marcus's wine in my mouth.
a little dramatic, but it's still nice of him to offer. Oh, thanks, Mr. Serge. That's a comforting thought.
We need to make money too.
We could be paid on it.
Ooh. What is it? Strange.
My name's Ryoma Takebayashi, and I've come here in hopes of registering with the Merchants Guild. Whatever guidance you have, I will gladly receive it all with open ears and an open mind.
And you may call me Glizella.
She's returned! Let me guess. The Cerberus want...
The wine made us sick, Marcos.
Impossible! It was my best...
If you wanted him dead, you should have told me.
I did tell you. I'm a new Marcos. I don't want people dead. I want...
Either way, she's dead now.
Dead? That's just great.
True? Now you tell me?
I have to admit I like the way your wine works.
What am I saying? Cassandra.
It's so rare that
Strike?
it's pretty as a gnome.
I have a demigod for a best friend.
So what are you going to do?
They need to be spooked, as Mama says.
That's not a good idea.
When have you had reason?
I love it so much I want to get you registered as soon as we can.
Let's also
That'll
determine the
work.
store's
It's even
physical
worth-
location.
Just waltz in here and work an old lady
I'll
racket.
pay their farm a visit.
Give them a good...
The farm in Astipales.
What? Their soldiers are always hanging around.
I'm sure.
No dogs and...
It won't stop the set.
Are you going to make me bet?
Marcos!
Have I...
Bet you'll agree once you see it. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but that just means it's cheap.
Can't keep you safe.
Think back to that sunny day.
I've paid you back plenty.
That I can't deny. But the Cerberus will come with its dogs and...
There's that we.
I'll tell you
Well
what.
before the fire. It's been abandoned for quite some time now.
All right. That's why I do what I do.
And just in time.
It's also just a hot skip
All
and a
right,
jump to the
Marcos.
industrial.
This is it. The grand
This really is
finale.
perfect for me. So you're thinking of giving up? Hard not to. It's a great location. I should be set for success once I clean it up and build the actual shop. All right. Make it work, Mr. Serge. Consider this place sold. You really do that.
You're paying me a nice commission. Since you're obviously doing this, I'd like to loan you some of my abilities to help you get started. What's with the face? They're professional supermarkets, so they'll handle management for you.
But
Mr. Management duties, standard procedure.
kind of like how the manager of the restaurant contracted to hire an employee myself. Restaurant franchise? Please forget I said that.
Besides, if your intention was to manage everything, I would have to advise against it, since I
We
don't...
did it,
if your
my
intention
friend.
was to
I'd
manage
say
everything,
I was
I
invincible.
would have to
Yes.
advise against it,
I
since
joke,
don't
I
consider
joke.
yourself
I owe you everything, Cassandra. Life will now be simple.
Less dramatic.
Go now,
Is that
and
seriously how
adventure.
transparent
Come back.
I am?
Wait. We'll see about that.
Given your age, I suppose you mask your feelings better than your feelings. But you're going to be dealing with crafty merchants who will try to take advantage of you.
Didn't think of that. Too bad the poker face I had in my previous life didn't carry over. I understand. I'll use your guys instead. One more thing. I'd like to buy supplies from you. Considering the mess this place is in, I'll need a lot.
Ah, but of course. Together, let's turn this trash heap into a treasure trove.
It's a deal. Needless to say, we got off to a very smooth start. What began as a dream was turning into a reality faster than I ever thought it could. First thing I did was have the scavenger slimes eat the overgrown weeds. Meanwhile, the acid slimes ate away at the abandoned building. I planned for the shop to be 2 stories high with a basement level below. One other thing I included was a dormitory for the employees to live in. Create block, go! Now, pavement! Nice! That covers all of the foundation work.
Ah, but of course. Together, let's turn this trash heap into a treasure trove.
It's a...
The watch will be vigilant.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you lending a hand.
Don't mention it. Especially if we're gonna mention something along the lines of, oh no, I relied on these people yet again. Helping friends is second nature. We are your friends, right?
Correct answer's yes. So don't think you're overly relying on us. You're our friend and we wanted to help. All there is to it.
That really means a lot, guys.
It really shouldn't, though, because it's natural, just like I said.
Oh.
I know.
Hand me the apron, Celia. Right.
A white paint job's going. 50 bland.
White means clean, and cleanliness is key for the outside of a laundry service. That's right. Colors are nice, but white looks clean, and that's what I want. Yep. The stuff inside is gonna be just as clean as the stuff outside.
Ryoma, I heard you got bumped to rank E for that monster hunt we did up in the mines.
Yeah, thanks to all of you. You are perhaps the most useful person on the entire team. But this laundry thing, it's gonna take you places. Just wait and see. No, this is also thanks to you. Meow.
I'm gonna be first in line as soon as this place opens. I have a mountain of laundry at home. But you're just as bad, right, Laban?
Yes. Once people learn what
At home. But you're just as bad, right, Laban?
Yes. Once people learn what Ryoma's cleaner slimes can do, that line just might be wrapped around the block. I'm 100% positive business will be booming.
That'd be nice if you're right.
You'll do just fine. You've already got 7 guaranteed repeat customers right here.
Thanks in advance, then.
I also heard you're mainly doing this because you want to be able to support yourself. Bold move trying to tell the Dukes family.
You're crazy. I'd love it if someone fed me with a silver spoon.
Although, you must admit his way of thinking is impressive. I do, and I respect it.
Listen, everybody. The building isn't going to paint itself, so less talking, more working, please.
Well said, Celia.
Bamboo Forest Laundry Service? So, what does that mean?
My last name is Takebayashi. That's what it's based on. In the town I grew up in, Take means bamboo, and Bayashi means forest.
Oh, that makes a little more sense. I mean, I'm still confused, but it sounds good at least.
Just a thought, but I think the outside looks a little bit too dull. Does it? It's fixable. A few flowers here and there would do wonders. You know what? Great idea.
I've walked on grass plenty of times, but never planted it.
I can't believe you're not even a little tired.
Bamboo Forest Laundry Service? So,
You've been working around the clock. This is nothing. Compared to the last place I worked, I may as well be on vacation. So, did you feel overworked at this previous job? Yes, sometimes. But seeing the finished products gave me a small sense of accomplishment. Oh yeah, the compliments clients gave me were another gratifying aspect. So what kind of work were you doing to receive all of these lovely client compliments? I can't exactly tell her I was a system engineer or programmer. A couple things. I had to carry stuff for one job, and another required me to make a type of doll. You make dolls? Yes, and I still can, so I can make one for you too. I would love that! Give me my time to do it first. Oh no. The ones I worked on were designed with boys in mind. Kind of inappropriate. I forgot something. You remember it eventually. A grand opening party? Well, since the shop is almost complete, I thought it might be nice to invite everybody who had a hand in working on it to come check it out before the official opening. I'll have food and drink for all to take in and celebrate a little.
all for a celebration.
It's also a thank you to my friends that helped me.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I was thinking of something.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I was thinking of stopping by that church, though.
Gotcha. You go, and I'll walk the lady home.
See you later, Mr. Ryoma. See ya.
Been a long time, Ryoma. Well, a long time by your standards, not mine.
Kubo! Where are Gain and Lulutia?
I guess they had other plans. Oh, that's right. They're both currently visiting the world you're from.
They're on Earth? Is it for a transfer?
Oh, no, nothing like that. They're just, sightseeing. Lulutia's eating her heart out.
I don't know what to try first.
And Gain fell head over heels for a J-pop girl group.
No, I love you! Okay, sure.
Sailfall isn't exactly renowned for its entertainment, right? I actually went to Earth too. I was feeling adventurous the other day and decided to have some fun. Oh, I saw the Amazon, the Sahara Desert, the deep seas, even Atlantis. It was all awesome.
I could have sworn you said Atlantis, but it's not real.
Time's up? So soon?
That was quick. They're on Earth? Is it for a transfer?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Like really quick.
I wonder if it's because Guyane and Lulu Tia aren't. Before you go, listen up. You should know your mind is being affected by your younger body. You're going through infantile regression.
Huh?
Training and keeping yourself in tip-top shape is good, but don't overdo it, okay?
Hey, wait! So my kid body is somehow having an effect on my mind? Infantile regression.
I can clearly read your emotions as if you were an open book.
It kind of makes sense, though. I'm experiencing more emotions than I ever felt during my time on Earth. And it explains why I can't pull off a decent poker face anymore. Thanks for your divine advice, Kufo. I'll be back. It's already this late? I should get home before the lady starts to worry. Come on, feet. My days were getting busier, but they were also getting more rewarding. And with the laundry business grand opening fast approaching, that wouldn't be changing anytime soon. Although I appreciate everything you've done, I prefer if I didn't mooch off you. But you're not! There are so many things. The baptism, registering at the guild. You all got me where I am today. It's been great. Too great. I feel like your hospitality is spoiling me. So now, it's time for me to take a step back.
What are you boys doing?
I understand, but just so we're clear, this separation isn't going to last forever, right?
No, don't get the wrong idea. I love your family way too much to make this permanent. I just want to retrain myself, rely on my own capabilities. That's all.
Well then, when you're ready to come back, know you'll be welcome.
Mother, you don't care if you leave?
You'll be leaving us as well when you go to school. Ryoma just wants to spread his wings a little bit. Although, he's still so young to flag a nest. 11-year-olds are allowed to be dependent. It's fine. Especially for somebody like Ryoma. He deserves to be spoiled.
Don't be like that, Elise. We had a feeling that this day was coming.
I know we did.
Get in position to...
Feeling that this day was coming.
I know we did.
What feeling? So you knew?
I wouldn't say new, but we did anticipate you'd have a desire to live by yourself eventually.
Really?
You're a talented child. We've seen others just like you. We knew you were wise beyond your years when you registered in search of work as soon as you arrived in an unfamiliar town, not to mention how diligent you were in doing so. You did this as if it were completely natural, which is exactly why your request to venture out on your own is something we all have expected.
But me, I never even dreamed this might happen.
However, I don't think we realize just how soon you leave us. We won't try and persuade you to stay here. We just hope we can persuade you to take it easy. Oftentimes, excess effort leads to waste, not results.
Right.
Very well, then. You may go now. But before that actually happens, we would like to set a few conditions.
Huh?
The first being you have to update us with a letter on a regular basis.
Will do.
The second condition is every once in a while you have to pay us a visit.
Sure. Thirdly, don't hesitate to ask us for help should the need ever arise.
could be useful.
Most vital, okay?
Right. I'll remember. I'm truly sad to see you go. And I respect and understand why you're choosing to leave us. But still, I must insist that you agree to one additional condition before you go.
However, I don't think we realize just how soon you leave us. We won't try and...
Promise we'll meet again in 3 years' time. Then, once again in 6 years. In 6 years, I'll graduate from school. But the 3-year mark is important too. Students get a long vacation then, so it'd be the
decision to make.
If I stay here, I'll still be relying on you.
I beg to differ.
Yes, I think you'll be fine.
I don't see a problem. Neither do I.
I do.
Try looking again.
But
It's our final condition, so you have to agree to it.
Right. I guess I...
Isn't your decision to make.
If I stay here, I'll still be relying on you.
I beg to differ.
Yes, I think you'll...
Oh, and before I forget, there is one last thing.
What haven't we covered?
For the remainder of our stay, we're signing this thing with us.
But I can't. I'm just like...
This isn't your decision to make.
If I stay here, I'll still be relying on you.
I beg to differ.
Yes, I think you'll be fine.
I don't see a problem. Neither do I.
I do.
Try looking again.
But
It's our final condition, so you have to agree to it.
Right. I guess I'm staying here then.
Great! What delightful news.
We can say that again. While we're on the topic, how long will you be in Gimel anyway?
I suppose it must have slipped our minds.
We intend to stay in town until the time of the Grub Frog outbreak.
It must have slipped our minds.
We intend to stay in town until the time of the Grub Frog outbreak. Frog outbreak? Hold on just a second. Grub frogs are the ones whose hides are used to making armor, right?
And in addition to that, their organs are used to make top-notch medicine.
Wow.
Every year, without fail, they show up in droves at a lake not too far from here.
So you want to fight them for combat training?
Not combat training. Our real targets are actually the lemur birds that arrive at the same time as the frogs. We still call it the Grell Frog outbreak, though.
What is a lemur bird?
I won't ask any questions.
Yes.
Let's keep out of sight.
Its feathers sure are beautiful.
And their songs are equally beautiful. Their speed is another trait that makes people want them. The thing is, they're very tricky to catch, so not many tamers have had much luck with that. They're a rarity, to say the least.
Yes, I think it'd be a good opportunity for you, Mr. Bill.
All right. You don't have to twist my arm for this. How wonderful. We are going to have so much fun. You'll see. Yeah. I bet. Can't wait, though.
Since you're not depending on us anymore, what are you planning to do?
I'd like to live in peace and adventure. To establish connections and continue to trade in the process. And I might even start my own business. Well, I was thinking of starting a laundry service. What the hell? Well, I was thinking of starting a laundry service. What the hell? Speaking of laundry service, if I say I will beat stains as tough as dogwood rhyme in my advertisement, I think I can make enough money.
You surely will. If you think eavesdropping this will talk, I know what this looks like, but not all of us are to blame. It's gonna be a tough time.
Hey, don't try and put this entire thing on me.
Laundry service will be a brutal endeavor.
Wow, that's encouraging.
If you only knew the amazing amount of money that gets caused by adventurers, the finicky, clever, awful snow will come out. They wear clothes and their people. People agree and buy new gear.
You'd see the fortune of making your own army. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. That's very nice. We should discuss this with Serge. Make sure you okay. Well, since you'll be looking for work anyway, would you mind taking on a job for us?
Sure, what kind?
The kind that will have you managing the mines with the time you have in between managing your new business and your adventuring ambitions. You only have to check it together, so it doesn't turn into a monster.
It won't. Somehow I'm still trouble getting their help despite being independent. Everyone always tells me that. Thank you. People care about me as much as they do. It's a good thing. A very good thing. Oh, next day. Lady and I will
Training them. You'll make sure you start on the right foot.
Okay.
Well then, what's your trouble?
Discuss my business ventures with Mr. Sage.
Magnificent. Come on. so that they don't cause trouble for you further on down the road. There's no time like the present. So why don't we go and do it now?
Sure. You don't mind coming too?
Just wait. See for yourself. Whatever you need.
Thanks, Mr. Serge. That's a comforting thought.
You need to make money too.
My name's Fiona Flash, and I've come here to hope some things to whatever guidance you have, I will gladly receive it all with open ears and
And you may call me Glizella, in case you didn't know. I'll press the middle button for the king. That's right. And you accept pulling so much money that you get in trouble.
Yes, well, better stay inside.
I have to admit I like the way your mind works, man. And this slime you have is so rare that it's free as a milk. This is good. Yes, it's very good.
She seems to like it as much as I do.
What a relief. That is an understatement. I love it so much I want to get you ready so as soon as we can. Just won't it? Just let it run it right over. Not that I'm always busy.
nice.
It really shouldn't, though, because it's natural, just like I said.
Oh.
I know.
Hand me the apron, Celia.
Great.
A white paint job's gonna look pretty bland.
White means clean, and cleanliness is key for the outside of a laundry service. That's right. Colors are nice, but white looks clean, and that's what I want. Yep. The stuff inside is gonna be just as clean as the stuff outside.
Ryoma, I heard you got bumped to rank E for that monster hunt we did up in the mines.
Yeah, thanks to all of you. You are perhaps the most useful person on the entire team. But this laundry thing, it's gonna take you places. Just wait and see. No, this is also thanks to you. Meow.
I'm gonna be first in line as soon as this place opens. I have a mountain of laundry at home. But you're just this bad, right, Laban?
Yes. Once people learn what
At home. But you're just this bad, right, Laban?
Yes. Once people learn what Ryoma's cleaner slimes can do, that line just might be wrapped around the block. I'm 100% positive business will be booming.
That'd be nice if you're right.
You'll do just fine. You've already got 7 guaranteed repeat customers right here.
Thanks in advance, then.
I also heard you're mainly doing this because you want to be able to support yourself. Bold move turning down the Duke's family.
You're crazy. I'd love it if someone fed me with a silver spoon.
Although, you must admit his way of thinking is impressive. I do, and I respect it.
Listen, everybody. The building isn't going to paint itself, so less talking, more working, please.
Well said, Celia.
Bamboo Forest Laundry Service? So, what does that mean?
My last name is Takebayashi. That's what it's based on. In the town I grew up in, Take means bamboo, and Bayashi means forest.
Oh, that makes a little more sense. I mean, I'm still confused, but it sounds good at least.
Just a thought, but I think the outside looks a little bit too dull. Does it? It's fixable. A few flowers here and there would do wonders. You know what? Great idea.
I've walked on grass plenty of times, but never planted it.
I can't believe you're not even a little tired.
Bamboo Forest Laundry Service? So,
You've been working around the clock. This is nothing. Compared to the last place I worked, I may as well be on vacation. So then, did you feel overworked at this previous job? Yes, sometimes. But seeing the finished products gave me a small sense of accomplishment. Oh yeah, the compliments clients gave me were another gratifying aspect. So what kind of work were you doing to receive all of these lovely client compliments? I can't exactly tell her I was a system engineer or programmer. A couple things. I had to carry stuff for one job, and another required me to make a type of doll. You make dolls? Yes, and I still can, so I can make one for you too. I would love that! If you had time to do it, of course. Oh no. The ones I worked on were designed with boys in mind, not girls. It'd be kind of inappropriate. I, forgot something. You'll remember it eventually.
Choose your opponent.
Just don't get your hopes up about the doll. A grand opening party? Well, since the shop is almost complete, I thought it might be nice to invite everybody who had a hand in working on it to come check it out before the official opening. I'll have food and drink for people to partake in, and we'll celebrate a little.
I'm all for a celebration.
Glad to hear it, since it's also a thank you to my friends that helped me.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I was thinking of
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I was thinking of stopping by that church, though.
Gotcha. You go, and I'll walk the lady home.
I'll see you later, Mr. Ryoma. See ya.
Been a long time, Ryoma. Well, a long time by your standards, not mine.
Kubo! Where are Ryoma and Tia?
I guess they had other plans. Oh, that's right. They're both characters.
They're on Earth? Is it for a transfer?
Oh, no, nothing like that. They're just, sightseeing. Guy in the field for a J-pop girl group. I love you!
Okay, sure.
Sample isn't exactly renowned for its entertainment, right? I actually went to Earth too. I was feeling adventurous the other day and decided to have some fun. I saw the Amazon, the Sahara Desert, the deep seas, even Atlantis. It was all ridiculous.
I could have sworn you said Atlantis.
read your emotions as if you were an open book.
It kind of makes sense, though. I'm experiencing more emotions than I ever felt during my time on Earth. And it explains why I can't pull off a decent poker face anymore. Thanks for your divine advice, Kufo. I'll be back.
Choose your opponent.
It's already this late? I should get home before the lady starts to worry. Come on, Pete.
Vasilis will have devoured
The days
his
were
last
getting busier,
opponent.
but they were also getting more rewarding. And with the laundry business grand opening fast approaching, that wouldn't be changing anytime soon.
is just where I want it.
You wet? The secret Santa myself? I should. I have the twins. Wow.
This holiday season, get an SUV from me to celebrate the holidays with you. However, if Jeep employee pricing on most new SUV models, use it to get over $4,500 total value on this encore choice.
Against his Tom Sharkey. Now, I tried to follow Tom Sharkey's Instagram account. I'm 99% positive that this is his account to try and get some more information and things we could potentially look at and analyse. And because it's private, there goes those potential leads out the door. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my hands on that. Without a doubt, I guarantee this will already be looking into that. What I wasn't able to find, however, was the contact of Mrs. Sharkey's Instagram account when it last post. Obviously, this is a fan who followed her before she passed away. It states she said she was getting a divorce. Her husband had tons of weird photos of him, deleted all those and just left the ones of him and her and changed the captions. He also tried to refuse an interview but ended up doing it and then said never contact me again. It's just too weird. So the fact that he was going through deleting photos, I just don't know how to feel about that. If your significant other passed away in a horrific way, your first action would not be to delete photos on your Instagram account, unless of course you have something to hide. So everyone is looking at him, and for a lot of the cases, police do tend to turn to people that were closest to the victim, so it makes absolute sense. And the fact that there's not a search for a random person they don't know of going on also suggests that police believe it was someone else. Now, a security camera of a business across the road from the crime scene actually spotted a car next to the ditch where Alexis's body was found. So, were drugs involved? Was she drugged? Was it an accidental drug overdose? Was it smothering? The autopsy results haven't been released to the public yet, but the fact that she had no visible signs of wounds to her body is so confusing and dodgy. The fact that she was naked as well, like someone definitely wanted to humiliate her by leaving her in that state, because if it was poisoning or a drug overdose, then why would they leave her body naked in a ditch? So her body was found 4 minutes from where she lived with her husband Tom, and it's interesting to note that she had allegedly told her friends that she was scared of her husband. She was only married to the 49-year-old for 1 to 2 years, and then she'd asked for a divorce. Friends of hers also said that they were told.
Can you hurry up, please? Because I can't find it.
Can't find it.
Just use the guide.
Here we go.
Oh no. Can you?
Told by her that he had trapped her before, so she very well could have been suffocated to death, because as the news reports say, she had no physical signs of wounds to her body. Most people do believe that it was her husband that killed her. Maybe he allegedly wanted no one else to have her if she was filing for a divorce, and the fact that her friends literally said that she told her that he trapped her. So people are also pointing out Alexis's friend Tanya, who spoke out in a news interview about Alexis, and how the friend had a huge lack of emotion. Now, I know everyone handles the grieving process differently. If anything, sometimes when people talk too much or show too much emotion, especially if they're not family, it can mean that they've got something to hide. So it's not the quote-unquote lack of emotion that should be worrying about in this interview. Although looking at it again, Tanya honestly doesn't seem upset at all. However, I found some things about Tanya that are questionable. Tanya said in this interview she loved being an influencer, but in an interview with Alexis's sister, her own sister said that she hated being considered an influencer. And apparently she wanted to be a successful businesswoman. Someone also commented on this interview, I've heard a lot of bad things about this girl from people close to her. She's very vindictive and jealous, which again is questionable. It is an allegation, but it's questionable. She also doesn't look at the camera when answering questions.
How long did you know Alexis? Because I know your mom said she recently moved to Houston.
Right. She moved here in January, and we met, within weeks of her moving here. I was kind of looking for a new group of friends, and I brought this group of friends together, and she showed up to this dinner. And since that day, she's just been part of our circle.
What kind of, she's 26. I was telling you that I was scrolling through. It's kind of a deep dive. She just knew so many people. She was active. I was looking at this vacation that she and her husband had just taken this road trip. She seemed bubbly and full of life to me. I didn't know her. How would you describe her?
Exactly like you did. She was always happy, always had a smile on her face. A lot of people looked up to her. She was just very, very positive. Always positive, always very knowledgeable, knew a lot about what was going on. Loved being in influencer, as you can see, and sharing, you know, tips and tricks about makeup and hair and fashion. If we needed her for anything to do with that, she was the girl to go to, for sure.
How did you meet her?
We actually met on Bumble BFF.
Oh, I think it's super cool. Never had success. So she was a grocer and she was looking for friends when you met her.
Yeah, she was looking for friends, and she definitely found people that really, really loved her, truly.
And so, kind of tell, like, when was the last time you talked to her?
She was actually at my house on Thanksgiving. We spent Thanksgiving together with my family. And then we had made plans Friday to get together Saturday. If it was raining, we were going to watch movies all day. And the last time I spoke to her was Friday around 6 o'clock, was when my last text message was sent to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did it go unresponded? Like, did you hear from her? That was clear at the end. Okay, you thought everything was okay.
Yeah, I thought everything was fine, and then the next morning I woke up really early. I sent a text to the group of girls we had a shared chat and said, who's coming over, you know, movie day or whatever. Alexis would have been the first person to respond. I mean, if I'm going to jail, Alexis is the first person I'm calling.
Get super fast coverage nationwide with new Samsung 5G phones on Google Fi. Activate your new phone on Fi from the comfort of your home and save $400. Join the Fi flexible plan and pay only for the data you use. Or choose the Fi unlimited plan. Activate your new Samsung phone on Fi today.
Her texting because I know she's going to answer within seconds. So I started getting a little concerned. This isn't normal, this isn't normal. And so all the girls kind of got together. Like, okay, well, when was the last time you talked to her? You know, when was the last time you talked to her? And they all said around 6 p.m. 30.
And what was that conversation about?
The last conversation I had with her, she was asking me what I was doing Friday night. And I said, well, my mom's in town from Mexico, so I'm going to stay home with her. And then we said, okay, love you, whatever, and that was it.
Also, it's important to note that Tanya doesn't really know Alexis at all, so that could have had something to do with her not being super sad or crying in the interview. I also found out that Tanya works in the oil industry, and so did Alexis's husband. Could just be a coincidence, but again, it's something interesting to note. There's also been rumours that Tom and Tanya were having an affair, but there's obviously no hard evidence to suggest this is fact. So in the interview, Tanya states that Alexis had 7 close friends. A lot of those friends are good followers of Alexis, so that days after, some of those friends were out partying on the Instagram stories, which just didn't seem that sad that she had passed. Again, everyone handles the grieving process differently, so who knows? According to a YouTube channel, shout out to Red Media, who managed to get their hands on the missing persons report from the police department. They showed this receipt on the channel. It shows that the first person to report Alexis missing was indeed her friend Tanya, and also a friend called Desiree. I honestly feel like the internet's been able to dig up a lot of stuff that police can potentially use, if they haven't already been looking, to help strengthen the case. Alexis's father does believe her daughter was murdered. In an interview with the Insider, she said, I believe solely that she was murdered because of the manner in which her body was left. It just drives deep into the soul that something very malicious happened here, and I want to get to the bottom of it. Tom Sharkey has been receiving online death threats after this story broke. He also said in a brief interview with a news outlet, she understood me. I understand her. We didn't fight when she left. I just told her she couldn't drive under the influence. She left anyhow. This is where we're at. He didn't elaborate on those claims, however. Apparently Tom Sharkey has been previously married twice, and it's been rumoured online that those past relationships he had were very questionable. Now, with the information that has been gathered, people are speculating in the comments that she may have potentially had a heart attack due to an OD. Maybe whoever was with her got scared they'd get in trouble, so they left her in a ditch. Sounds like a possibility, but doesn't explain why she was found naked. So this is such a tragedy. Alexis was such a young, bright woman who had a lot going for her. Her friends only have the most beautiful things to say about her, and it's just not fair. So let me know your guys' thoughts about this in the comments.
Where will you go from here? What will you do?
I need to live life the best way I know.
Will you see your daughter?
My little Annette? Yes, I think I'll see her.
I hope we meet again, Skoda.
The most human trait is to want to know why. And in a year that tested everyone around the world, why was searched more than ever.
Why do you want to leave the arena now?
It's because of you, Miss Hughes.
How long has it been since you've watched
A long time. But I'm glad I went back in.
Denver County Jail facing a misdemeanor charge
I
of
understand.
harboring a minor.
Friend?
Not all.
However, he is also facing
Before I leave,
felony
I
charges in
set up
Fresno
one
County
last
for
fight for you.
kidnapping,
The
child
best
abduction,
arena fighter the Greek
soliciting child pornography from a minor,
I'll do it.
and meeting a child for the intention of sex.
I have to give credit where credit is due. I would have never made 2 videos on this person, Nathan Larson, had it not been for Belle Damasi, a very small YouTube channel here on the YouTube sphere, who brought awareness to this individual to me. Then I made a video about it, and then it kind of had like this ripple effect, where then other YouTubers started talking about it more frequently.
You want to fight someone in the arena?
Had anybody listened to me or the countless amounts of other people that have helped on this case, trying to spread awareness, screaming, arrest Nathan Larson. But it took this. It took him boarding a plane with a child in a wig, telling that child to act disabled so no one talks to her.
If you want to know more about his arrest, check out Belle's video, which is linked down below in the description. Several months ago, I made a video titled "This Website Needs to Be Shut Down," called Rapey, in which the entire website was a place for pedophiles to conglomerate and discuss wanting to have sex with children, exchanging photos, discussing very, very graphic, disgusting things, including wanting to harm children. Belle Damasi brought awareness to this site to me, asked me to make awareness to it. I looked into it. I'm like, wow, this is sick, disgusting shit. People on that website, the pedophiles, started attacking me and her, saying vile, vile things, even pretending and impersonating her, me. It got really, really messy. But what we found out about that website is that the owner was Nathan Larson. Then stemmed into me making a video dedicated to Nathan Larson himself, which I made, I think it was 2-3 months ago, titled The Nathan Larson Files. It's still on my channel if you want to see it. But in this video, Nathan Larson gets on camera and he advocates and says that he should be able to have sex with like a 5 or 6-year-old. What's so twisted about the video that I made on Nathan directly is that in that video, there are direct clips that I use in which he advocates for wanting to have sex with children. He says it on camera. He's being interviewed, and he says, "Oh yeah, I think I should be able to, like have sex with a 5 or 6-year-old. They can consent. There's nothing wrong with children having sex. There's nothing wrong with, adult 30, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old man having sex with a child." Nathan Larson, on his site that he owned, Rapey, would make post after post after post after post describing his fantasies, describing what he wants to do to children, how he wants to kidnap and hurt them. And now, that happened. Which is unfortunate because of the fact that it shouldn't have gotten to this point at all. And this is the fucking problem. You have a guy who comes on camera, who's on an interview, where there's YouTube videos of him saying, yes, I want to have sex with a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. I want to hurt children. He says that he wants to harm people, right? And nobody bats an eye. Sure, the internet says this is wrong, this is screwed up. But it actually takes him to physically kidnap a child, which now he's been caught and he's in jail now, thank God. But the fact is, he kidnapped a child. Okay? That child is going to have permanent life trauma from his actions. And this just goes to show the real problem in, I don't know if it's just the US, I don't know if it's a worldwide problem, but if you have somebody who's knowingly saying that he wants to harm children, he needs to be arrested. When the police go to his house and they find child pornography, and somehow, because his mom and father are in the legal system, mom works in the legal system, it's overlooked. It's just ignored. While he continues to describe his sick fantasies with wanting to harm children. So it takes him physically harming a child before anything happens. And that should not be the case. If you have somebody on the internet claiming to wanting to hurt children, they need to be arrested and have a psychiatric evaluation. I'm serious, this is what needs to happen. If you come across somebody who's expressing wanting to harm people and have sex with children, that you just can't just turn a blind eye to that. How do people just turn a blind eye, ignore it until a child actually gets hurt? Then it's a problem.
It should have been a problem months ago, before he traveled to California to kidnap somebody, to harbor a minor, to solicit having sex with a child. What is wrong with the FBI? Honestly, what is wrong? I contacted them. You contacted them. Hundreds of people contacted the FBI over this guy, but it takes the actual harming of a child for them, for anything, for law enforcement to do jack shit. It's frustrating. It's gross. It's grotesque. Why does it take a child being hurt and sexually abused in order for anything to happen? He's in jail. He's most likely, like 99, probably 9%, going to be in prison now because of him finally getting caught. And I want to say a verbal thank you, Bell, for bringing awareness and starting that petition that got, over 50,000 votes. It became a really big thing. And that's the thing about awareness, is that once you bring awareness to somebody who wants to harm children, I think it's important that other people follow suit and bring awareness to the dangers of particular people on YouTube. Minilad is on YouTube. There are people who literally send naked photos to children are on this platform. And it's fucking scary. I have a nephew who's 10 years old. He watches YouTube. Okay? And it crosses my mind all the time. What if there's some creepy dude who wants to take advantage of it? He watches my videos. You see this stuff happen? Speak up. Voice your feelings. Don't hide away. Don't get scared of what they may say or do to you, the pedophiles. Because what Nathan Larson did with me, he made an account on his website. I don't actually know if it was him, but it most likely was. Used my name and then made a whole post about how I like being sexually assaulted at 16 in the church. And sometimes you have to put yourself in the crossfire for the greater good. And well, it has. He's been caught. And I hope you live a long, miserable, suffering life, Nathan. The trauma and the abuse that you endure from children. Burn in hell.
Could you see?
I'm going to rip your guts out!
Today we're going to answer the age-old question that's been asked by generations for millennia. Who is the real Shane Dawson? And we're going to use a 5-year-old docu-series titled The Chair to find out. Because all you have to do is draw the curtain to see what the wizard is hiding. Well, that's just ridiculous. Hey, it seems like Shane and his co-producer Lauren have some really good work. You can tell because from the look on her face, it seems like she hates the money.
I like Shane. I respect him as a director. He's mentioned that he might want some kind of co-writing credit on this movie, and I have to tell you that's absolutely ridiculous. Shane contributed, to the final screenplay. He had thoughts, he had ideas, and he was certainly involved. But he was never contracted as a writer on this. And this is why the WGA is why they have guidelines.
Uh-oh, seems like we got trouble in paradise on the first day, folks. They're already fighting for credit.
Which is fine. I honestly don't give a f***. I don't care if my name's on it as writer. I don't care if I get paid for it. I'm obviously not in this for the money. I don't care. I think her main question was just like legally or how, because and I know you're saying it was just notes, and I get it. We can just say it was notes.
Whoa, hold on, folks. Where's this shady Shane coming from? He literally just turned over to the camera and did quotations as he was saying, notes. I'm not used to seeing this hyper-sarcastic Shane Dawson. I'm used to the empath Shane Dawson. Where's that guy? I love him. Do you think if he flips his hair to the other side as he's using here, then he'll become empath Shane?
Well, you could potentially dial back some of the graphic nature of some of the jokes, the raunchiness of it, for example. And by even just shading some of the undercurrent of those jokes a little bit, you might be able to appeal to even a bit of a wider audience.
Wait, who the hell does Zachary Quinto think he is, telling Shane Dawson to tone down his content? Doesn't he know how this timeline works? Shane has to continue making offensive content for at least another year and a half until he inevitably becomes canceled for the first time, and then it becomes a reoccurring thing every 2 years until we arrive in 2020, and he has his final cancellation. Zachary Quinto may greenlight movies, but only Gen Z greenlights cancellations. By the way, thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Folks, Surfshark is a VPN or a virtual private network service that's available as an app or a browser extension that basically allows you to place your phone or computer anywhere in the world, which means you can surf the internet as though you're in another country. This lets you access and unblock websites and content that you may not usually be able to see. It also encrypts your data to add an extra layer of security online to keep all your personal information safe and your browsing activity. Now, my favorite part about Surfshark is that if I want to watch something different on Netflix, all I have to do is change my location and I can have access to an entirely different content library. Say I'm in the UK and I want to watch movies in the United States. Now, something else I love about Surfshark is its encrypted service gives me an extra layer of protection against hackers on public Wi-Fi. Use my code Noodles to get 84% off plus 4 extra months for free. And by the way, Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning there's absolutely no risk to try it out for yourself. All the links will be in the description down below. Now back to our regular program.
Is this movie happening?
I mean, yes, Shane.
Like, for real? Is this movie happening?
I don't ask Jonathan.
Is this movie happening? Should we just go back to LA? I feel like it's not happening.
I don't know about you folks, but I kind of love this dramatic and shady Shane. It's almost like I'm watching a version of Jeffree Star who wears a pea coat and a beanie.
I'm serious. Well, I don't think I'm putting them together. I feel like every time it's like, oh no, for sure, that's totally happening the next day.
This is the way it is.
I know you guys are just frustrated with me.
Don't worry, folks. Shane is going to be okay. Thankfully, he has his lunch pack in his backpack, so he's just going to eat 2 fruit roll-ups and drink a Capri Sun, and then he'll be 100%.
They think we're filming a fun, romantic scene, which is not what we're filming. We're actually filming a scene where me and the other girl moon the whole town, and then a drunk homeless crackhead puts his dick and balls up against the glass. There's a lot of kids there.
Sounds like an absolutely terrific idea, especially the fact that Shane knows that kids might be going up and down the trolleys as he's trying to film this shot. This will age just as well as everything Shane did in that era.
I lost the mice about 15 minutes ago.
Let's move!
I don't know how you guys do it. It's so hard to act like I care about these actors when all I'm thinking about is Marley.
You're not doing that great of a job of it.
Yeah, who are these no-name nobodies coming over to audition on this amazing Shane Dawson movie? Why isn't Angelina Jolie, Michael Douglas, and Whoopi Goldberg just plowing into the room so they can be in this movie? I mean, the guy had a character named Shanae.
Well, when I walk in and I automatically know they're not going to be good, I've just lost the whole... And then she throws out, do you have anything to say to them? And I want to be like, if I just don't ask that, because I don't feel like saying anything, I'll just tell them when she walks in.
Okay.
Because why am I going to waste their time being like, the character is... It's like, doesn't matter, just do it.
Now, folks, I can say this for a fact. My favorite auditions to go to are the ones where as soon as I walk into the room, the people in the room are extremely hostile to me. Because I absolutely love self-loathing. It's what makes an actor an actor.
That wasn't scary at all. And he has voices too. It's not his fault.
I thought the last one was good.
I'm not settling, dude. I'm not settling because we need a black, we need Mexicans, we need this, we need that. No.
We don't have a choice for some of these
We're not
things.
settling.
This is some truly progressive work that Shane is doing here, folks. He is literally casting roles that are named after races and ethnicities. Because everybody knows that it's actually possible to play a race or ethnicity with a depth of character that is not solely based on stereotypes. Sadly, nobody's been able to do it yet.
So how did everything go the other day? Nancy Mossers and casting everything.
It was a horrible day.
It was?
It's the worst day of my life.
Folks, let's all empathize with Shane right now. He had an absolutely awful day. In fact, the